Yo. What it do? This your boy Huey P. Nuisance. Also known as Get Me the Big Unk Roster. Hear me, Lord, in the flesh. You already know what it is, man. Black Arabian Nights. Hear me. Y'all come on in. Fill the room up again. Before I told y'all what we left off at, we did that for Sister Soul. Here we back to build it up again. Hear me, Lord. 100 people watching. Okay. We can do it then. Let's go. Why didn't y'all tell me the music was too banging last time? Y'all should have said, Huey, turn the music down. Yes, Lord.
It's all in the game of the streets, game of survival, game of the hustlers, game of the knives. It's all in the game of the streets, game of survival, game of the hustlers, game of the knives. It's all in the game of the streets, game of survival, game of the hustlers, game of the knives. It's all in the game of the streets, game of survival, game of the hustlers, game of the knives. It's all in the nights we ride on horseback, playing up the dollar or leave keys on the track. It's amazing nights to put the minutes on the track. When the biggest so they hit the top, they win and ran the track. We bought a couple leaves and we whipped it in the crack. Put the Lincoln Navigator, put the nation on the map. Invested in real estate, I'm trying to buy the block back. Generation residue on my fingertips, look like trees, empty Hennessy bottle with the throttle on the Hellcat. Blowing exotic minds, be blowing me with my seat bags. To see inside a luxury cars, it's amazing. God, for the soul, this is a big payback. It was curious like Brucey Collins, shooting ease on the high. Walking the tightrope, bring the circus, it's a high act. Better not lose focus or you might just it's all in the game of the streets, game of survivors, game of the hustlers, game of the knives. It's all in the game of the streets, game of survivors, game of the hustlers, game of the knives. It's all in the game of the streets, game of survivors, game of the hustlers, game of the knives. It's all in the game of the streets, game of survivors, game of the hustlers, game of the knives. It's all in the game of the proper half of every woman in the streets, candy, flipping nickels and dimes and started one. Coca-Cola bottle tops and trying to see a quarter speed, negotiating wholesale prices to get a lower fee before I hit the courthouse bar. Skip the loyalty, trying to see the shit you're in from talking words. From trying to get the mic to eat the milk spores. Roaches in the box of cereal, call them Lord. These are building blocks of that proper, call them water. We proper, shit that baby get the chills. If you saw the king, marching on Washington, walking on water. From a martyr, he was trying to get his song. He was from the ready, trying to get up to his quarantine. Stop crying, and I always go to the bitch, I'm gonna let him praise. I ain't never been a slave. Yeah, I put the sandals on the corner, get the song. In the game of the streets, game of survivors, game of the hustlers, game of the knives. It's all in the game of the streets, game of survivors, game of the hustlers, game of the knives. It's all in the game of the streets, game of survivors, game of the knives. It's all in the game of the streets, game of survivors, game of the hustlers, game of the knives. It's all in the game, put the game up on the board, words in Lord. Even if I didn't have to even if today to be the breed, all I wanna do is be me. I do breathe easy, even if I hadn't did easy. I was a nigga with attitude, crazy. Even man, I was words with a mess. Even if I didn't bring a blow, big guns, playing sunshine. Even man, I ride, drinking the wine, eating the bread alone. And you know that I've been dope. Everyone I I be shining him, man, I be grinding. Telling them they never see it. If they read it, I'm pouring this song. Game of the streets, game of survival, game of the hustlers, game of the knives. It's all in the game of the streets, game of survival, game of the hustlers, game of the knives. It's all in the game of the streets, game of survival, game of the hustlers, game of the knives. It's all in the game. recognize it's all in the game. Streets game of survivors, game of hustlers, game of believers. It's all in the game. Streets game of survivors, all in the game of connivers. It's all in the game. Streets game of survivors, game of hustlers, game of connivers. It's all in the game. Raw red bone, you the dead, don't speak. Your head gon' bang to this goddamn beat. All my gangsters that run them streets. Bang your set, nigga, stack that meat. Stop that beast, but fuck police. Protect your streets, now that's what's G. Family over money, that's what's loyalty. Raw red bone, you the dead, don't speak. Your head gon' leak.
You there, baby? Let's go. Play this last jam and we're gonna get into it, y'all. The brother here. Let's go. Let's go, y'all. What happened? You just stopped? Okay. What it do, family? You can hear me, brother?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. It took me a second to switch over. I gotta close the other video out here. Okay. Okay. There we go. There we go. Yep, I'm here, brother. Yes, sir.
Yeah, hold on. My damn shit tripping too. Hold on. Oh, fuck, here they go. It's you there? All right, there we go. All right, yeah, we back. There you go, brother. Y'all welcome back to the platform. Got the brother James Rozelle up here. Gonna drop some signs, so we're gonna come up here and build. Y'all see the title Blake Arabian Nights. Knights. The Blake Arabian Knights.
Yeah.
Knights. K Nights. K Nights. Oh yeah, yeah. I know I'm stupid. Yeah, I know I'm nice.
Yeah.
That was nice. I'm stupid. Fools. I'm a motherfucking fool. Shout out to Cautious, Sister Soul Main Radio up on the platform.
There she is.
Yes, Lord, you got the platform, brother. Go ahead, man. You got it, man. We following your lead.
Yes,
It's
sir.
on you now.
Thank you. Thank you. To get started, there's a few books you all would need. So let me go ahead and try to get these books to you guys. I'm gonna put the link in.
You got a wrench, right?
I do not.
You ain't got no wrench. Hold on, let me give you a wrench so you can share anything that you need to share too.
Yeah. Well. Okay. Okay.
Make sure that you can share anything that you need to share.
I know. A lot of times, I go biblical and a lot of people don't understand why I start speaking in the biblical text because the Bible do give the clues, but they twist it. So once you see the truth, you're gonna understand how they twist it, and you may understand why they twist it, So I'm gonna give you all some books and everything that you can read on your own time. But these books is gonna be right here in America. Um, some of the books gonna be right here in Georgia. So both sides of America is holy land. All of America is holy land. So when you hear of the Creek Indians, understand you talking about the Greek Indians. Okay. So I know that may sound strange to everyone, but let me show you how all of that happened. And it's strange that all of this come full circle when we goes to Arabian Mountain and we standing at Stonecrest Mall. So while we was at Stonecrest just meeting up, we was actually in the parking lot maybe an hour and a half, just talking about the area and some historical facts. All the history of Georgia goes biblical. We was all talking about it, and we found that there's a Sparta, Georgia. We found there's a Rome, Georgia, which all the roads from Sparta, you can go to Edenton, Georgia, um, Washington, Georgia. These certain areas that you remember, you watch the movies, where all of these areas lead to one street, and then this one street would take you all the way over to Rome, Georgia. Okay, so there, all roads leads to Rome, and we have a prime example of it in Georgia. There was a prince here in Georgia. You know, I'm trying to save all the goodies for you because I don't want to spill all the beans that's in the books. But let me go ahead and put up a link to one of the books that's really going to get your motor running. And this way, it would not be any question about where we are as far as um, the location for all of these things to take place. So I'll put up the link right there. If you all click on the link, you're going to see the book that I also have up. I'm going to give you all time to get the book. And the title of the book is damaging enough to any African theorist, anybody that says you from Africa, anybody that has any doubt or that wants to debate you. Have them to explain these books that I'm going to show you tonight. All of these books are backed by the Library of Congress. And not only that, okay, I know that they're like, well, just because it's in the Library of Congress, you still got those guys. But some of these books are historical markers. This what keeps them in line with what's going on, because they have to get an understanding what happened back then. Okay, so they had to create these books. Now, a lot of these books you have to ask by title, and if you don't know the title, guess what? You ain't gonna get the book. You're not gonna see it. Okay, so these are some of the. This is one of the books you all can see right now. It's talk about the Chek. Now you can get more on the Chek from 432 to drop. This guy got a lot of information on them, but at the end of the day, I don't care what tribe that you claim you from. All of you are this right here. And as you read on, you can see how they talk about the prophet of the West, a historical Israel Indian tragedy. Okay? So when you see this, you have to ask yourself, how is there an Israel Indian in America when everybody should be in Africa? That's what we was taught. Okay. Now we are breaking the code tonight with artifacts, damaging evidence. My homies and I walked the grounds on the Sabbath day, which is Saturday. We went on a holy walk. Did we not look like the three wise men? And when people heard us talking, did they not stop and listen? You all bear witness to that. You also saw the berries and the fruits growing from the trees, which we all know from our childhood. You know, they was asking me while we was on the trail, different scents. And I was saying, okay, we close to a pecan tree. And, they was like, how do you know? I was like, you just got to grow up around pecan trees. And then we saw old walnuts dried up on the ground, rotting away, but it's coming from a tree. Again, we're seeing food growing from a tree. And then we also learned about just simple things, but it made you understand how we was eating from the land. It was so much different things you could have ate on our, maybe a 2-mile walk, that you would have been full. You would not have been hungry on your journey. That's all I'm trying to say on that piece. But now you understand why these people came over here. Now we already know that these people was trading. They want to call them Maya, they want to call them Inca, whatever they want to call them. But they was already trading goods back and forth. Okay. The problem is our goods was too damn good. That's the problem. Our goods were so good that they wanted the goods for themselves. Okay. Now, if you read the Papal Bull, the Dumb Verses, it helps you understand that, because the story goes that we was, nobody knew we was here, and we was discovered in 1492. But we actually have data proving that we was trading with different people before that time. Okay, the Spaniards. People got to ask, how did they get those alligator shoes? That has to be down in Florida. That's where you got alligators. You see? So when you start thinking about it, when you sit still, sit by yourself, close your ears up, read a book, do something, put your mind on it, focus. Now you'll start getting the picture. Nobody's trying to lie to nobody. Nobody is trying to be better than nobody. Lord, no, I ain't trying to be better than nobody. I'm just trying to show y'all the truth. It's no reasoning, no more to fight about is Israel is in America when I'm finna show you plenty of books. And if you go to the Library of Congress right now and you type in this title of this book, it's going to show you at least 125 more books to support this one historical marker book that they have listed at the Library of Congress. So when we start talking about Israel and we start talking about Hebrews, that's all over here. Case closed, is done. Nothing to discuss. This is what these people was talking about when they came over here. They couldn't believe what they have saw when they came over here. Okay? And we're going to leave it at that. If you claiming more, okay, whatever. I'm going to leave that alone. I don't care. You being killed and being slaughtered the same way we being killed and being slaughtered. So guess what? We keep fighting, we all gone. But if we work together, we can get somewhere. Okay. So tonight is nothing but facts. I'm gonna just give you the books. It's up to you to walk through the door and dig in. But I would like to show more. So that's that one book there about the Chek Crusade. Now there's another book that's even more damaging than this one. And I have to give credit to a young lady. I don't know this young lady. She kicked it with Aboriginal TV, Empress Holbert, Air Power, all of these guys. Her name is Janice. And she did a show where she was talking about the Creek Indians and maybe they were Greek. And it never dawned on me. And then I started researching that. And you have to go all the way to Greenland, or you can go to the United Kingdom, and you can start pulling up history on the Greek Indians over here in America. But as you can see, Israel Indian in America right now. Now, I want to get another book, and we're going to go in details of this next book.
Yeah, you just made me think of some old shit. Because she was doing words like me when she said the Creek and the Greek. She was doing words like me. So I was thinking about degrees and decrees.
Keep going.
The Creeks and the Greeks, which is like the Indians or the Creek Indians was the Greek. And we deal with this. We're dealing with agreeing, which is dealing with the Greek. A Greek is dealing with agreeing. So green, dealing with a green light, was coming from what they said, the Greek or creek. See, they might have thought we were saying Greek, but we might have been saying creek or cream. We were saying cream light because light had to do with the CH and cream. I mean, the charm of being.
Correct. So
yeah, but go ahead. I heard what she was doing with the words. She was doing with the words.
I want you to elaborate on it because I'm giving them a lot. Let me get back to the site. Yes, sir, Big O. Yes, sir. Excuse me.
Welcome to the platform, Cryptos. Eric Deep, what's up with y'all? Y'all get in when y'all want, man.
Yo, you already know, man. I'm here for that knowledge, man. Every day is another new day to learn something new.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
Already, I like where the bill going already because we talk about right where we at, right where we stand, the center. You know
yes,
where
sir.
you at.
Yes. Sir. So this next book you have, just the title of the book will shut down any Pan-African or whatnot. But again, I'm not here to say who's right or wrong. You just need to see what these people wrote when they first saw us. So I just put a link in the chat, and I'm going to go over the title of this book. It's called The Ancient History of America, Anterior to the Time of Columbus, Proving the Identity of the Aborigines with the Tyrians and Israelites, and the Introduction of Christianity into the Western Hemisphere. Does this book sound juicy enough to read already? You see what I'm saying? This book is ready to go. So now I know on my screen I have the book open, so I want everyone to try to follow me on your own personal computer. You don't actually have to watch the video. I'm gonna tell you exactly what page to be on as I speak. Right now, you should be on page 1, and page 1 is showing you the front of the book, the history of ancient America. Now, let me share my screen so just in case if some cannot see it, you all can look on my screen. So I click right there and I hit share. Okay. And I'm gonna go back to my screen and I'm gonna zoom my screen in to make it big for you guys. So right now you should see the front cover of this book. Okay, it's a brown leathery type cover and we're just gonna dig in. So and I'll tell you what page I'm on as I'm going. So right now I'm on page 8, and right now you can see the title of what I just read. And this book goes back to the year 332. Okay, it says it's going to prove the identity of the Aborigines. Okay, it says it's going to prove it. Now, we also want to look down here to the left, and we can see that Utah and the Brigham Young University has already checked out this book. And so, they checked it out from the Library of Congress, and they're teaching their students the truth. We don't have this down here at the AU Center, Clark Atlanta University, or whatever college you want to name. We don't have this book. But as you can see, this book is a dedication to the Archbishop Canterbury. So this book is going to a king of this time, and he has someone to report what they have found in America during this time. Okay, so that's what makes this book so important, because it's not just a book someone is reporting. This is a book he's reporting to, like President Obama. If Obama came to your house and say, I got a mission for you, a lot of us would have did the best job we could have ever done for President Obama. You see what I'm saying? So imagine how this person feel when he has the Royal Highness asking for his help and wanting to know information about what has been found in America. So everything in here, they about to drop facts in this book. So right here in the dedication, I'm on page 14. You can see how the person is writing to your majesty, and he's ecstatic. He's more than happy to do this work for the king. And actually, if you read the book, you're gonna think he got an infatuation with the king, like they've been fucking, But when you read it, you're gonna see how he was more than willing to do this work. So right here on this page, it gives us a little bit more information. It says the Tyrant Era in 2 books. This is the first book. I'm on page 16. It says with ruins of antiquity. That means they actually have some things that's been left behind from this era. And it says in ancient America, describe and analyze the original architects identified. The architects of what? The pyramids. You see what I'm saying? It's no need for us to go back and forth about who got the better data. Just bump that. Know that you hearing the truth, and what we do from this point on is what we do. And as you can see, they're talking about they was here the year 332 before Christ. This is what they wrote in the book. I didn't put that there. Now, this makes perfect sense. I think it was Aboriginal Power. One of those guys, it's a lot of Aboriginals, maybe TV or, one of those guys. But they was talking about how they put the I in front of the number, and then it became 1650. So he had a painting that was he showed a painting that was from it's supposed to have been the year 650, and they had an eye in place of it. And then he showed the same painting from somewhere else, and it said 1650, and they changed the eye and put a 1 in front of it. So that let us know if they came in the year 492, then they might have been here in 332, because we was already doing trade with them, and they lying about the years. But I'm gonna move on because this book holds a lot more than just that page. So again, right here, you can see he's writing to Frederick William IV, King of Prussia. I'm on page 18. And you can see, with feelings of enthusiasm, sir, founded upon the contempt and peaceful and patriotic king. So you can see how he's writing. But if you just come on down to the third paragraph, and it says, the building of Solomon Temple at Jerusalem by Hiram of Tyrus, okay, was not more generous and liberal religious sentiments that were your own. He's writing about a place that we think is make-believe, and they actually writing about it as it is in reality, because what? They actually found it. Where are they? On the southeast region of America right now. And we'll get into that as we get into the book. Okay. Now, again, this is a report to a king. So this book is held with the utmost respect, because someone is reporting. And and there's plenty of other books that will support this book. Okay. Now, I want to come out of the preface. Okay. I'm Yes, please. Thank you. And I just wanted to point out a few things about this book. Okay, I'm on page 26 about the books and proprietors and people that circulating this book. If you all look at the very bottom of the paragraph, you'll see that they say, if any copy found in possession of a traveler from abroad will be forfeited. I want y'all to think about that a lot. And this is one of the reasons why I don't claim nothing. I don't claim to be a Christian. I don't claim to be Islam. I don't claim to be Moor. I don't claim nothing. Because when you get to the end of everything, it turns out to be some bullshit. It turns out to be that somebody made something up just to hide it from you, to hide the truth from you. Okay. And this book gives some good details and some damning information. So right now I'm gonna go to page 10 of this book, and I'm just gonna ease my way there. I want y'all to see that, right here, I'm on, hold on, let me get what page I'm on the thing. I'm on page, okay, it says page 2 now. Okay, I guess the numbers recount some kind of way, but I'm on the page 2 of the actual book. But I want you to see where they talk about the lately recovered ruins, cities, and temples in Central America, right here in this paragraph. Okay. Excuse me, I was smoking one. But at which no ancient record is to be found, have been shattered to chain of a knowledge, the history to atoms, and until this chain have gained unity by firmly established the theory of education herself must pause. So it's telling you the information in this book shatters everything that we have been taught. And we haven't gotten to none of the super juicy stuff yet. Okay. But it says right here, the truth pointed rising children, the history of the world and its inhabitants. It's speaking of America. They're talking about us. Okay. And let me go on to page 10 where I was trying to get to. I know the book is juicy, and this is one book you will have to go back and read. This is worth your time. On page 10, you can see what did these people do to us. Okay. I'm gonna read some of it here. I'm in the middle of the paragraph. It says, So we therefore discard the name of the Indians as applied to the natives of the Western continent, and it will remain in the tragedy of the Tecumseh. And you can pull all the books on that, and you'll see why it's such a tragedy how they destroyed all the beautiful cities that was here, but they was chasing somebody. We'll get into that in a minute. And as you can see, write them as the Aborigines until the advance in history. They can be identified as the national name founded upon facts and conclusions. So everything is right here upon facts and conclusions. Now, once we get to page 11, as you can see, the story is really going to take place. I'm on page 11. Let me make sure what the counter say. The counter that's on the website says page 10, but I'm actually on page 8 of page 11 of the book. At the very top, chapter 2, I just want y'all to see who name just pops up. You know, it goes biblical by itself. You know, without anybody messing with it. It just goes biblical. But you can see at the top they talk about the laws of Moses, okay, and what's that inclusive proof of the two races, okay, and we're gonna get into that a little bit. So I'm gonna jump a couple pages. I'm gonna go to page 13. I already know you all may be, looking around the book, you see Hebrews and all of that popping up. Remember, these are the names they gave us. We was not calling ourselves these titles, but this is what they called us to identify us. Okay, so just don't get stuck and say that you're a Hebrew Israelite. Don't say that. Just say you one with God. Just know that you God children. Okay, so if you're watching the screen, I'm gonna go down here to the bottom. You can see right here that I'm reading. They have an art of the covenant, which deposits some mystery, seen only of the priest of the tribe. It is said it is supposed to give out oscular sounds. Okay. This is an analogy of the book of laws placed in the Ark of the Covenant by Moses, preceding his death on Mount Nebo. Now, the only way they know this man died on Mount Nebo, somehow, some way, they had to be around there. They have to be somewhere in the picture, somehow, some way. I don't know. I can't explain it, but they talking about it. Okay. Now, before I go further in this book, I want everybody to understand Mount Nebo is in Utah. You can pull up Mount Nebo, Utah. And this story that this book is about to talk about is called Deuteronomy 34. Okay? Deuteronomy 34. You're going to read about the death of Moses. You can't help but to go this way when you get into all the old writings of America. You're going to learn that Nebo, that Moses went up to Mount Moab, both mountains is in Utah. You cannot find both of these mountains no other place on the planet, only in Utah. And then the plains of Moab to Nebo can only be found in Utah. Not only that, they said after they buried Moses, they put him in a city called Pesca. You have a Pesca, Utah. And they say they went across from Pesca to a place called Jericho. You have the wall of Jericho directly across from Pesca in Utah. So I'm giving you 4 landmarks that I cannot create that's been there. And you can see for yourself the trail that Moses walked before he died. So every place we go is going biblical. Okay. Give me 1 second, you guys. I want to get another book up. I got to get the link ready for the chat. Y'all give me 1 second. Because I'm trying to bring you all the way around. Okay. It's the reason I stick on these books, because what the books are showing you is more, is beyond what you think of them. So let me get this book together. I'm gonna put the link in the chat for you all, so you all can have this link for yourselves and you can read it on your own. Okay, this next book is on Atlantis. There y'all go. And click back. I'm gonna give y'all time to open the book up. And again, all these books is from the Library of Congress. And you can also type the same title of this book in on their website, and it's going to show you this book and also all these supporting books. And you'll see how other explorers to this time came here and how they saw you all when they got here. And this is how they can write about Atlantis, because again, they got ruins of it. Okay, they got artifacts of it. Okay. As you can see, we got the Hopper brothers. You're going to see them in a lot of books of the 1800s. Okay. Okay. Again, we see now we see Toronto, Canada has checked out this book as early as 2005. This is what they teaching their students at the colleges there. Okay. Now this book, I'm gonna get y'all going because it's. I apologize. Oh, okay, it was just me. Okay, so I just want you all to go to part 5. This is how you use this book. Do not start at page 1 and start reading from page 1. This book is more like an encyclopedia. So what you want to do is go to the table of contents, and then as you can see, I'm at part 5, and I'm just going to read out some of the parts of part 5. And part 5 read the colonies of Atlantis. Once you get to line number 3, you have a question mark over your head. Colonies of the Mississippi Valley. Okay, we'll come on down, and you'll see some African colonies. Okay, they talk about the oldest son of Noah on page 423. Okay, I want to come on over. Here it is, coal measures of Pennsylvania. That's on page 31. Someone can look that up if you in Pennsylvania. If I shout your state out, research that area. Okay. New Jersey, you all have an ancient Indian pipe. This is part of Atlantis. Okay. Oh, let me go back a page. Okay. It haven't gotten juicy yet. Wait till we get on into it. Okay. As you can see, the Elephant Mound in Wisconsin, the Elephant Pipe in Iowa, Negro idols found in Central America, Negro head found in Veracruz. Then you got some Indians, Choctaw, Shawnees. Then we see the Shawnees in the Israel book with the Tecumseh. Then you see the Shawnees there. Now you see the Shawnees here in the book called Atlantis. We're going even before that. It's proving how old these people are. Okay, you've been here forever. Okay, as you can see, we're not pulling up any Indian tribes from Africa, Russia, no other place. Only in America is what we're pulling up. Let's look at some more. The Great Serpent Mound is a colony of Atlantis in Ohio. That's on page 205. So whoever up there, go ahead and jump to 205 and tell us what you see, what you find. Okay, coming on down, coming on down. Okay, and I'm just jumping around a little bit. Again, the Mississippi Valley pops up. We have New Mexico. We have Illinois. Of course, Illinois will be popping up. Of course, we all have respect for that, but Illinois is deeper than what we think it is. And that's on page 263. Okay, Egyptian heads found on page 274. Okay, so we have to ask us, and when you see the dates, I want you to look at the dates when they find these artifacts, because it goes with your girl, Janice. She was talking about how could we have artifacts before they even had the museum built over in Africa? Because it's proven that everything is over here. Okay. Oh, I missed one. I see Tennessee over here back to the left. And then I'm gonna jump back to the right. But Egyptian heads, okay, come on down. Ohio again. Again, Pyramid Mound in Ohio. More mounds in Ohio Valley. Okay. And we can go on with it, but you get the idea. You pretty much know where Atlantis is located. It's all across America. And these are titles they gave this place. Again, we was just here living and doing what we was always doing. Okay. Now you go right here to part 1. It says the history of Atlantis. And if you just go down to part 4, I apologize. You can see where it talks about the course of ages and the populace, the mighty nations, overflowing shores of the Gulf, Mexico, and Mississippi River. So it's no doubt as where as we talking about. Okay, we know exactly that we're talking about America. Now things get really juicy when you get to part 5, and you can see where the writer says this is the true antediluvian world, the Garden of Eden. I'm just gonna pause right there. I'm gonna pause right there. The Garden of who? The Garden of what? Is in America? Does that make you all feel special? It should make you feel different. You should act different from this point on to actually see that you are bound to the truth, to see that you are part of the true God, period, to know that you are part of the universe for real. Here it is. Okay. They got all the gardens over here. Okay. All of that is here. Okay. Now I want to go. There's one page I want to go to, and y'all just bear with me. I think it's page 265. Just bear with me. Let me just jump through the book. Now, as I skim through the pages, you all can see how they are looking at the food that are found over here. Okay, I see the fire truck is coming through. But as you can
Nah,
see,
my
they
bad, bro. I didn't know I was on.
oh yeah, it's all good. You good, bro. But as you can see, these are some of the things they were finding over here. I'm just skimming through the book. I'm trying to get to page 265 because it talks about some other stuff. But you know, this book goes in a lot of aspects. So just give me 1 second. Let me just get on down the page. Some of these pages here. That's 100. I'm gonna zoom out. Okay, here we go. I want to get to 65, or it might be 260. Look at these things they was finding here, you guys. Look at what they was finding here. You wasn't no savages. You was civilized, and you were just trying to put people out your house. Here we go. So I wanted to talk about this piece right here, which this is how they was relating the Mississippi culture all the way over here to Georgia and Tennessee. This piece right here, what they found over here in Nashville, Tennessee. I want to zoom in on it, make sure y'all see it so y'all don't think a brother is lying. Tennessee is part of Egypt, period. Bottom line. We're gonna leave it as that. Now there are some old pictures that they did take when they was taking like the heads and some of the pieces out of Egypt. But those pictures have been, scrutinized heavy, or they'll say it's that's Memphis, Egypt over in Africa. But right here, you can't take this away though, because they telling you this is part of Egypt. This piece that was found in Nashville, Tennessee. You see what I'm saying? So when people say now that's not true, then they have to explain how is this over here. How is an Egyptian artifact over here? And that's not all. It's plenty of Egyptian artifacts that they found all around the country. And you can go to the Smithsonian and you can see some of it, but not all of it, because they ain't gonna let us see everything. Real talk. Okay. I just want to tell everybody that Memphis, Tennessee is what we think it is, with no doubt. This is data that they kept from us. Okay. And that's just bottom line. Okay. Now this next piece, y'all give me 1 second. I have to go to my Facebook and get it. 1 second. My videos. That's not it. Oop. That's the other one. Y'all just give me 1 second. Y'all can talk while I try to find this one little piece. Let's see here.
Yeah, there's some not really no shocking information, cause like 2-3 years ago, we was all on that, America trip, like where we at. Like I've always said, we was the land of the milk and honey. It just felt like, that we was in the place they were describing, and the reason why we being persecuted today, as far as the laws and stipulations and regulations that they put on us to keep us down, to hold us down, and this information had no other place to go but to surface to the top, and we already been dibbling and dabbling into it over the years.
See, I be posting a lot of everybody videos trying to. Well, the video I was trying to show was where Janice was talking about the Creek Indians being Greek. I actually had found some information on that, and I wanted to share that, but then y'all just give me 1 second. I have to figure out where I put it. On a different PC from the one I use. I got the book, so because I want everyone to pretty much have the books.
What part of Georgia you from?
Oh man, I'm from Decatur. Well, yeah, born and raised in Atlanta, but I pretty much been living in Decatur.
Okay. I'm
Mm-hmm.
from Southwest Florida, but my people's from Georgia. My people got a farm up there, and up in I believe somewhere around Macon and Augusta, Georgia, somewhere up in that area.
Oh, there you go. 8 more. Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You own it. There it is. So the Greek Creek Indians, there it is. So y'all give me 1 second. That's the title of the book I'm trying to get, because I'm on a different PC. Just trying to get it to. I'm gonna pause it and let me, because it goes into
Earlier about
Georgia. There
they
we go.
started putting the Western Hemisphere. Can y'all hear me?
Yes,
Hello?
I can hear you.
You said something earlier. I was trying to get in real quick. You were saying something about a Western Hemisphere. It was a little earlier though. You said they said something about they started indoctrinating, or either they oh, I can't remember now.
Yes, they
But do you remember saying something about the Western Hemisphere?
yes, that when they was bringing Christianity into the Western Hemisphere. So my mom is a Jehovah Witness, and she was
Wait, real quick. Can I make a quick point on that
oh,
real
go
quick?
ahead.
I was
Yes,
trying to
ma'am.
say something
I'm
about that.
sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay. No, but I'm just saying, baby, I forget. I'm sorry. I mean, I was trying not to cut you off when you kept reading, but it kept coming back, and I got to say this real quick. When you were saying that, right, the whole thing about they were putting the Christianity into the Western Hemisphere. We've been talking in the last couple of weeks about focusing on this, like the outer space. You know how they keep saying the outer space, which is really us. It's not really outer space. It's actually us. So when you're saying
Mm-hmm.
that about putting the Christianity in the Western Hemisphere, the first thing came to my mind is that was the implanting of that spell in the brain, as far as the Western Hemisphere, talking about the brain, not actually talking about the area. How they be confusing people a lot of times with all this area stuff when they're talking about over north here, this and that. Okay, they might be talking about sometimes with when they're talking about
Yes,
the
Lord, she going in and go in.
you know what I'm saying? But when
Yes.
you think about it, when you said it literally, you literally said it. We cast the fucking spell. I'm sorry, I don't mean to say it like that, but and it's crazy
Yeah.
because last week we literally went in about this thing about something me and Huey and some other guy had brought up something, and we were talking about. I was like, "Yeah, Huey," I said, "I've never believed this slavery stuff," and then we had a conversation about how they took the children, they killed all the Indians, which were us. And that's another thing too. When you say the Hebrew Israelite, you're saying don't get caught up in the name. But when you think about it, it's the Hebrew. It's like Hebrew. They brewed. They stirred all the Israelites around. That's the Hebrew. Hebrew throwing everybody around. Israelite. His real lights is the real is the Israelites they're talking about. They're saying that the Hebrew Israelites, but it's talking about his real light people, the real light beings. So that's what I take from that. So when we were talking about that with the when they killed off all the indigenous people, which was the Israelites, which were the Israelite Indians or whatever the case may be, right? They took all of their children and took those children and start indoctrinating all that Christianity into their brain, making them think that they were from this place. Oh, y'all came from here, this, and that. This is how all that indoctrination came into a big twisted thing and all this African stuff where the confusion, because they were also bringing in the people from the Philippines and the Mexicans, and they were mixing and they were making them Indian. This is where the Indian name is also coming from. I didn't mean to cut you off, but all that came to me. I just wanted to say it real quick, babe.
No, you're right on the money. That's why I tell everybody don't get stuck on the names. I just look at the situation. I'm trying to find this book because I'm on a different PC, but it talks about how they had to get the Indians off the land in Georgia because it was gold everywhere. Gold was in abundance. And this book right here explains it if you all can find it. I remember I had to go to the United Kingdom to actually get this article right here. So, but it talks about how you was being, they called them Greek Indians. And then I put up the text from saying they called them Israel Indians. So I was just showing how all the biblical stuff and everything comes over here, and we are the chosen ones, but it's time for us to act, is what I'm saying. Like, we have more than enough information to go at these people, real talk. We have we can use their own information to I'm gonna stop screen sharing. Let me see. Let me go back over here. Boom. And how do you stop? Okay, there you go. Yeah, we can just take this information and start giving it, just start serving it to the courts, and just start throwing monkey wrenches and everything. Because like, I'm already, like I was telling them the other day, I sit down with Keisha Lance Bottoms just to ask her questions, just to see if there a proper way to go about it. But at least we talking to someone that's actually in government. You see what I'm saying? I'd rather start talking to these people and start getting some kind of motion, though, if we on that level. I yield the mic for right now for that type of discussion.
Welcome to the platform, Mental Ninja, Eric DB, Eric been here. What up, Mental Ninja?
What's good with y'all, man?
What's good, brother? And,
Chilling.
like you said, those motions in courts got to deal with oceans. Again, like I think Bro Cook was on the other day, and he was saying how the Moors deal with the waters and how the Masons deal with the land. See, the motions deal with that waters and that law in the sea, which is maritime law, dealing with the maritime law. So that's what that motion is dealing with. But yeah, y'all go ahead, man.
Yeah, one thing I want to say is like, yeah, it may not be so important as in like when we're talking about court, like we kind of getting entrapped by that whole idea, and we don't really think outside of that. We only think of inside of how the courts will perceive it, so we'll perceive it based on the court, which really hasn't changed too much difference. The Indian comes from the word Hindi, which means comes from the word Indi, which is the Indus Valley people, and that's like the Indus Valley, like the Mediterranean, the Fertile Crescent and stuff. So the Greeks knew about the Americas. You know, Plotinus knew about the Americas. It was never like, as far as what we understand, like some separate unknown land and stuff. Obviously, there's people on it, and people, when we look at that, we throw out parts of the narrative, but keep other parts of the narrative that make it still comfortable to, like, proceed. But really, we're talking about like these ancient cultures and these mythical buildings and stuff like that. Instead of like trying to automatically believe that they are real buildings and stuff like that, real historical places, to look at the mythical part of it and how other countries or other nations or religions or belief systems that are ancient have similar ideologies. And that's where you might be able to find your link. And then you might be able to see through, the some of the vagueness of the Masonic or these secret societies uh, deal that they got going on and stuff. Like the whole Solomon's Temple, like we're still thinking that a place is real when like it isn't. And if you don't understand how to find it, like you got to look for the people who actually went and looked for it, and that's the Templars. And
I
why
found
were they digging?
I
Why
found
were
it
the
and walked on the grounds. I have the video of it. I can show it right now.
So look, so
Quick
go
question,
ahead.
Mental Ninja. Can I ask you a question about this, sweetheart?
Yeah.
Okay, when you just said that they found Solomon's temple, this, and that. Now, to me, I perceive Solomon's temple as like the wisdom of Solomon. So, being that as his temple in his head, the brain, his mind. So, the wisdom and thought patterns of Solomon is that's what I thought that was. That's not correct.
Like actually, you know what? In pretty much more ways than one, you are correct. So there's a big problem with Solomon because archaeological evidence shows like there would never was a Solomon. Outside the biblical, outside of books, there is no physical archaeological evidence to support a man that lived named Solomon that had the most powerful, like literally the most powerful army in the region at the time that he existed. Also, there's no evidence to support that even his father lived, King David, and but we do have Saul. We have plenty of references and archaeological evidence of Saul, but this David character, like there's nothing, period, outside the biblical scrolls and texts from these religions and stuff. So this is the bad part. If there's no David, then there's no Solomon, and there's no Nathan, and there's no Jesus. There's no Mary because Jesus and Mary are both they're cousins, or Jesus, Mary and Joseph are both cousins. You know what I'm saying? So like the thing with this is what happened with the Templars. So they went and on the Crusades, they went and they sat with the Sufi mystics of the Islamic community at that time before they were like not what we call Islam, the modern day term and shit. They're more the iconoclastic and stuff. And these guys were like secret society type, mystery school type dudes, and they sat with them and they were deemed worthy to learn their secrets, right? And so they went back to England and they or France and they came back with authority under the king or queen of France and stuff because at that time the Holy Lands were governed by the European continent and stuff, which is France at the time. And this is where we get the whole Crusades. But they were there for 9 years digging, not 1 year and found what they needed to find, not 2 years, but 9 years, and it was 9 of them. And this is very important, these numbers in the time they were digging and stuff. And so what eventually they found, they came back. They were rumored to have found the Holy Grail. They were rumored to have found the Ark of the Covenant and the mythical bloodline of Jesus Christ and Mary Magdalene, that they had babies. But this is the truth. They didn't find a goddamn thing. They found the second temple. There is a second, there is a Solomon's temple. It's called the second temple. And there's the third temple. But there is no first temple. And that's where the big problem, because the whole Jewish faith is based on the first temple. So when they go back to France, they go to the Pope, the Cardinal, they're like, check this out. We know something about your whole religion that we believe in that destroys the whole religion. And that's how they became so fucking rich, because they had something on the church itself, which was the government of all mankind at that time. So a powerful secret, they can't control it, they can't stop them. That's how they were able to siphon these royalties and these positions to create the first global banking system. And the whole stepping on the cross and and worshiping a goat's head or kissing the ass or whatever of a wooden statue with two heads and the ass, whatever and stuff, and spitting the cross, that shit is absolutely true because they were teaching in their system to follow the faith, but not follow the historical evidence of the faith and look more towards the mystical, which points to exactly what you were talking about, a celestial, solar, spiritual idea of this kingdom or this temple, the soul of man, Solomon. Because the Solomon story, bro, if you like really go into the lesser and greater keys, that shit is like almost horrible to even believe that this nigga's walking around with a special magic Captain Planet ring capturing demons and making them build shit. Genies and shit and fucking
And
and
can
and,
I
and
elaborate on that a little bit?
go ahead.
Yes, sir. Now as far as all the powers and all all of that, I don't get into the power. The only way I can find out how they can even get the story somewhat true or whatever, I go to the same place that the archaeologists went to say that what they found. So from the descriptions, from what I read in the Bible and going to the older books and even going to the five books of Moses, I learned about this Solomon Temple. Now, what got me excuse me, interested. I can't say the word interested. Thank you, baby.
Interesting.
Um, I got you, baby. Thank you. My girl doing stuff in front of me, y'all. I'm sorry. But what got me into it is because they start writing about it in the Library of Congress, and it's in a historical part of the library. So in this part of the library, you need an additional access on your library card to go into this part of the library. So I found it curious, but a lot of these books was giving up the locations, and me and my girl went looking. The first place we went was Kings Mountain, and we couldn't find what we was looking for. But again, we didn't realize where we was at when we was on Kings Mountain. But when we made it to Lookout Mountain, and I have the video, all we found all the sightings of the eagles, the hawks, the face that looks over the cliff. We found the face, we found all of that, and we have it on video. So yeah, you all just let me know if y'all want to see it so you can see it with your own eyes. That'll be great. But you can see this place. And all I'm saying is that the place, it does exist. And then when you talk about King David is going back to Moses. Moses was going by the name of that King David, another code name for Tanu. But if you go to the European Museum, you'll see where it's called the Genghis Khan letter, where King David wrote a letter to Genghis Khan telling him that he couldn't marry his daughter. And when you see that, that proves that Moses did live because Moses had to live to write the letter. That's why I'm showing everybody. A lot of the stories have been misconstrued, but when you see that the person wrote a letter and you see it in their handwriting, it's a little hard to say that that person didn't live when he was telling somebody not to marry his daughter. And when you read the letter and understand why, you can understand his concern of that. So I just let that be. That's why I said I continue to look and I continue to dig. A lot of these stories can be found at the National Archives right here in Georgia. You all can go read the books right there. Book 2 of the Ancient History of America can be found at the Library of Congress if you want to see that in person. But that's why I'm putting this up here so we can get all that stuff out the way. I don't care about if they said he had powers and all that because they lied about everything. So of course they're gonna put some lies in there. I just want to let you know that that man did live. Whatever they saying about him is not totally true. I'm just showing you where he did live. So if this person was one that's supposed to have been doing some things with the high mighty, then maybe there's some stories that might have been a lie about this person as well. They
Well,
lied on Jesus too, even though they made that up.
hey, but see, we have problems, right? Because Genghis Khan conquered the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Genghis Khan lived like 2,000 years after David. So for
Mm-hmm.
him to write a letter to King David, that would be, unless he had like a time traveling device or something, it would be virtually
Uh,
impossible. Because
see, you now what if they scrambled up the years? So Aboriginal one of the Aboriginals. I hate to say their name, and I'll be talking about the wrong person, but I want to say it was Aboriginal Power did a video several weeks ago that made sense of it. They put the letter I in front of the numbers, and then we started calling it 1400s and 1600s and 1700, when actually it was the year 400, the year 650, and so on. And he did a video on that just a couple of weeks ago, and that what makes all of this fit, because they're gonna lie about everything. They don't want you to know what they did to gain entry or to even have what they have today on this land, and the reason why they came. You
Yeah,
see,
but I think like, I hear what you're saying, bro. But like literally, Genghis Khan lived in like the 1100s, somewhere around there, after Jesus Christ's death. So like literally, it's not. I would highly, highly doubt, especially
sir,
with not just yeah.
there's a monument says for all the ones that was in search of Prester John from the year 1145 to 1645, sir. Yes, sir. So that would put him in the time of Genghis Khan. Yes,
No,
sir.
bro. I think you
Hey,
have your
hey, hey, hey,
BC
hey,
and AD.
let's not
No,
agree to
it's all
disagree.
good.
Shout out to Prester John. I heard you say Prester John. Shout out to Drop Radio 432. He gives a elaborate display on Prester John. If y'all want to go check out Prester John, shout out to Drop Radio 432. You hear me? Yeah.
Hey, so basically, what I'm saying is like I hear what you're saying, right? So this is the problem, though. Like we know Genghis Khan existed, not just from some books or some tapestries, but from like his actual living descendants that's still alive today, and the actual lands that he conquered and how he conquered and what he did there. He had a super fucking army. He had three of some of the most renowned astrologers of all time, right? Now, before Genghis Khan, you had Alexander the Great, which was around 250, something like that, BC, before Common Era, before Christ, right? And then you still got to go another, I don't know, 700 years back before you even get David. And this is the problem. David also, like Alexander the Great, like King Cyrus, had this fucking mega army, like a world conquering army that there is absolutely zero archaeological evidence to suggest that. And even with, and this is the problem, right? With the faith of itself to assert itself as historical truth, right? Is that the whole Jewish faith, the whole Jewish origins are so questioned because like there is literally zero evidence, complete nothing of a 400-year enslavement of basically homeless people building pyramids, like fucking really homeless people that were conquered and stuff. But we do have 400. We have evidence that the people who built the pyramids in Giza and the Egyptian civilization under Ramses and stuff, they were highly skilled craftsmen that had their own economy, their own places to live, their own doctors, their own schooling and stuff, and they were not slaves. Maybe they're working in a living conditions we looked at as poorish, or maybe even borderline to slavery. However, they were almost in that sense sovereign for what they were able to provide. They were not a bunch of like random people that were whipped into like building some of the greatest monuments on earth. So that's where we get the issue with the historical references of the Judaic faith, the whole Judaic, as far as Judaism and Christianity and stuff. You know, we have even more fanciful stories of Solomon, which like really are the same stories of the fucking Arabian Nights, like capturing genies and putting them in bottles and whirlwinds and stuff like that. And then the incubus and the succubus that have like, we can understand what those things are in this modern term. So this is a very esoteric approach to it. To
That's
view
what's walking on
Okay,
the
ancient,
radio about.
cool. Mental Ninja, you presenting a great display
History.
of I don't know how to put it, but let's get back to the information that he presenting, since the information that you presenting is stuff that we already know. And you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying, Mental Ninja? Let him keep presenting his information opposed to you giving us stuff that we already been taught. You see what I'm saying? Let's get some stuff that we don't know about, and then you can dispute it later on.
For
let's keep
sure.
it moving, cause you giving some good shit now, Mental Ninja. But let's get something that we ain't heard before. You see what I'm saying? We don't wanna hear what they already told us and what you already done deciphered. Let's get some stuff that we ain't heard before. You see what I'm saying? I want to hear about this stuff over in America that we don't know about, that they ain't taught us about. All these books and books and books that they hiding from us, but they not hiding it from us. So what's really up? Let's get back into it.
Yes, sir. Let me just think of a starting point. I apologize. So okay, here we go. We was talking about someone said something about 432 to drop. We was talking about Coca-Cola. He has a video that he did probably a few days ago on Coca-Cola, and it was the holy drink that he was reading about. And after researching that, I found that the coca leaves of Georgia was one of the highest commodities in the world. It was big money at that time. And so, the coca plants and all that stuff we see in Mexico, that all of that stuff grew up here as well. But things got very excited. If you start researching Georgia in the 1830s, 1820s. Now, the other day I showed my family history, and they put newspaper articles in our family history to show what was going on at that time. And in the 1820s and 1830s, they was removing people from their land, even by force. So, like the Trail of Tears, some people did up and leave to go on the Trail of Tears because they thought when they got there, they're going to get reservation land and everything. But when they got there, it was something totally different. A lot of people stayed behind because that's the only way they could eat, which was my family stayed behind. And that's how I got the history that I have from what the dead people left behind for me to see. Because my family history was put together before I was born. My great Aunt Mary was, I don't know how old she was, but it was given to me from my mother. So when I read what they had to go through to what we see here now, I understand why they hiding everything. And I just want you to be serious about it. If you thought you found the kingdom of God and you didn't want nobody else there, and you wanted to keep all the gold and all that other stuff to yourself, then you would come up with some elaborate stories, or you might do some other things like make a Egypt over in Africa, or name things over in Africa to make everybody go over there instead of come to America. And those were some points that Janice had brought up a couple of weeks ago as well. So what I did, I started researching in Georgia, and come to find out we was high in granite. Gold was so abundant that it was not an issue in Georgia. And that's why they had to get the Indians off the land. As soon as they took the Indians off the land, I'm talking about months later, they were selling the land to people, and they had the Homestead Acts. They had the land lottery is what they was calling it, giving away your land after you don't die walking and everything, or they don't killed you. And at the same time, they was making laws where you can't reclaim your own name. You can call yourself what you wanted to call yourself. You had to go with the black or the Negro or whatever they had at that time. So I was just trying to show everybody those type of things and understand what's at risk. It's more than just the gold. When we don't see gold like the world see gold, we was using gold for IQ. When you read about the 7 cities of gold in America, you find out those are the 7 holy cities. And it's in the title of the maps. When you get a map of America and it says Serpentino, or you see that serpentine going across the top, they talking about the 7 cities of gold. And again, that information is from King Drop. But whenever you see that, that lets you know that's when they already discovered it, because you can't write about something until you found it. You don't know it's there until you found it. So when they found it, then you see all the gold rush going on the west side of the continent. You see what I'm saying? You start seeing the gold rush over there, the California gold rush. You already know what tribes was over there. You see what I'm saying? And they were selling hot Egyptian antiquity. It was hot commodity for them to sell Egyptian antiquity as early as 1857. And again, I'm just re-saying, and I have looked at, from these two books, you can see in yourself that some of the early discoveries of the artifacts, they was from 1857, 1837. The ornament that's over in Egypt, up in Tennessee, that was also found in the early 1800s as well. So when you start putting everything together, you start to see why they went through so much trouble to keep us down. It's no reason to keep us down if we ain't nobody. It's no reason to keep us the way you've been doing us when we ain't somebody. Now they know what's happening. They see the change in the earth. They see the change in the people. They see this change in the sun. They see this change in the universe. Everything is changing but them. They the only things that's dying on the planet. If you go to Dubai, you can't say the word cancer. They say the C word. That's how they call cancer, the C word. And if you want to know the highest people that's buying the most body parts on the planet, it is Dubai. Dubai got the money and the power to buy us and take us off the street. That's why I say don't put your blood type on your driver's license. Don't do that. Don't say that you're a donor. Don't do that. They coming to look for you if somebody got enough money. I'm telling you, it's not a joke. Georgia is the third largest in the world for human trafficking. And if we are number 3, why is it not on the news? Why is it not being reported? You see what I'm saying? I got to go on Facebook and YouTube and listen to a young lady who just jumped out a window of a car and said the Uber driver was trying to kidnap her. Okay? I think we all seen that video. Another one where 7,500 women, I ain't gonna say 7,500, it was 75 women were found in a shipping container in Brunswick, Georgia, but they ain't say where the shipping container was going. So they kidnapping the kids, they kidnapping the grown folks, they kidnapping all the homeless people. They want your organs at the end of the day. They are here to take your land, bottom line. And my thing is, I'm ready to do something about it. If we got to go to the United Nations, I'm ready to go next week. I don't care how we look. It's just a start. I don't care if we jump on the educational system and get on the schools for miseducating us for saying, y'all from Africa. We're going to call you African American. When they know good and well we was the Indians that they put in the projects in East Lake Meadows, Capitol Homes, all those places where they put the prisoners of war, that they put in the camps. Now, these not concentration camps, but these camps were forts that they had built. Guess what the name of the forts that held the Indians? Fort McPherson was a fort that held Cherokee Indians in the 1800s. Fort Gillum, on the west side, goddamn, held Indians until they built up areas for the prisoners of war. This is their language. We are prisoners of war, people. Now, we got that from the Cherokee City, and they got the monuments and the signs all up, and you can read it. And of course, the park ranger was walking with us because he heard how we was talking. So of course, when you talk about this, they're listening. Okay, so they know. Okay, but as you can see, you are who they say you are. They playing stupid until we start to stand up. And once we stand up, that's when we're gonna have the change. But we need to stand up in every state. Every state. I yield the mic. I'll let somebody else get it in.
Hey man, that's interesting. Very interesting, bro. Because I always wondered and heard stories about what if all the places or these wonders of the world and all these landmarks, what if they actually was here in America? Like, what if we never went anywhere and all the stories was construed and made up just for us to go in a direction like you say? And it makes hella sense But it's like, what do we really know? At the end of the day, I hear so much coming from so many people, but it's like, who has the truth besides
Your
me?
blood. That's why you do your genealogy. That's why you'll start seeing the truth when you research yourself. I got mines over here, and I can tell everybody, just pick a group. It's so many Indians in my family. You can pick who you want to be with. It's in your blood because we kept compacting and compressing and compressing. Every time we lost the war, tribes came together and say, we gotta beat this. We gotta beat this. And that's how you came up with all these new names. I don't care who they said was sellouts. I don't care who was doing what back then. Right now, we all need to work together. Bottom line.
And I
And I
heard you
think
say something about Illinois earlier, bro. If you can
yeah.
elaborate on that, because I stay in Chicago, Illinois.
Okay, now in Chicago, Illinois, you got a lot of history there, brother. You walking on sacred ground. Okay, so I have an archaeologist. That's my friend. His name is Donna Claus. Donaklaus. He is the real Indiana Jones. He goes into all the pyramids. So he went up on the claim. He went up into Illinois. They pulled out the pyramid, a stone pyramid with the golden eye in the middle. If you go to his page on Facebook, you can actually see it. And it got some encryption, something written on the bottom of it. And he got a lot of pieces and artifacts of Egypt out of America. Okay. And then he also talks about G.E. Kincaid. So for this archaeologist to reference another archaeologist that we can't find any record on is very good. It is because he talks about what he discovered in the Grand Canyon, and he had his own photos of what he got from his other pictures, and it allowed us to see other pictures other than Google of what they saw in the Grand Canyon, and what they have under heavy security. All the national sites of America is all ancient sites. If you stay here in Georgia, Stone Mountain is the comet that they read about from the Bible. Okay. That comet, if you research Stone Mountain, you find out it's made of a material that's not found in the surrounding area. So it's just like how we was talking when we was on the trail. How can this what we can say something that don't belong, say that you got some ice cream. Okay. How can this, I don't know, I say chicken show up in your ice cream when it don't supposed to be part of the ice cream? It's not part of the fumble. It shouldn't be there. So right now you have this huge granite rock that they talking about. At some point it was heated up to a high temperature. Okay, and then your boy Huey put it all into light because he said, when it have exploded, when it landed, I said, yeah, it would have created craters and that would have turned into lakes. Now think about all the lakes that's around Stone Mountain right now. You see what I'm saying? Think about when you driving to Stone Mountain, and if you're going through the main entrance, how you got to go through a valley, as if the Clement Road. See, the only way a rock that big can get here and it's out of place, it had to come from outer space, which we call comets. So when you start seeing these historical pieces for yourself, and go around and research for yourself, you start gaining another understanding. Yes, sir. I don't like staying in the books. I like to go and see it with my own eyes, and then go see what the archaeologists say about it. So all this data I just gave you is from the University of Georgia, 1969 discovery of ancient Egypt in Murray County, Georgia. Murray County, Georgia. And then they also found the Egyptian site down in Florida, along with a serpent mound in Florida. Not just there, we can go to the west side to Chicago, and you also have the Egyptian sites there, which they have put under water or completely destroyed. But most of it is underwater. That's why we have so many dams in America, because they don't want you to see what's under the water. And when you read about what they found so much good stuff from Mississippi pottery culture. They even found Mayan pottery culture, and they show pictures of it. And when you see the pottery, you're gonna say, "Oh, that's very familiar. I seen that pottery before," and it's gonna resonate with you. And then you're gonna see they have found all these things and put thousands of hours into the research of this area. The University of Georgia now, just once they done to flood the area, they flooded the whole area with 24 dams. I'll be damned. If you found so much stuff, why would you flood it? Because it's damaging to what they taught us in history. You see, it's damaging. And then when you see these sites, they want to call it Little Egypt. Well, if I got a Little Egypt in Georgia, one in Florida, I can go to Ohio, I can go to Chicago, I can go all the way as far as Nevada, and farther than that. Boom, there you go. I got my Egypt. There go Egypt. America is Egypt. If I got all these Egyptian sites, you see what I'm saying? And another thing, when it comes to Moses, after Moses did his thing, they created a city for Moses. And if you get you one of those 1,500 maps of America, or maybe 1,400s, the city they built for Moses is called Caltheo. That's the city that they built for him, and today it's known as Colorado. Okay.
Hey, bro. Hey, bro. So look, there's since like I think there's a book that I think that you will really like, right? It's kind of an older book. So when you're talking
Yes,
about
sir.
when you're talking about going to the library and having to get special access to certain books, right? Right.
Yes, sir.
Most likely those are probably reference books that you are not allowed to check out, right?
Correct. They
And
understand that with you.
yeah, and those are if well like in Nevada they don't sit there with you like maybe like in the colleges or whatever. Those are my favorite books to actually steal. Like when they niggas talk about stealing knowledge, I'm a fucking thief, nigga. I'll steal books you ain't allowed to check out, right? The book is by a guy named. And this is one of the first books I stole like back in the early like '99 or whatever. Is by James Bailey and James R.A. Bailey, his brother or his son. The book is called The God, Kings, and Titans, The New World Ascendancy in Ancient Times. And what this guy found is going about like exactly what you're talking about. He found evidence. He was an archaeologist and also a geologist that around the world, he would go to all the ancient mining sites and he was finding at the geological strata that would be conducive to a certain period of time that everybody globally was mining the same shit at the same time. Like when people in the old world were mining iron, people in the new world were mining iron. When they were ironing silver and lead, they were doing it here too at the same times, right? So what he proposed, and this goes towards the end of his book, it's a little spoiler, but he goes directly into a long, drawn out, really deep Atlantean myth. Okay, now also one other person you might want to look into is Plutarch. Like I said, the Greeks knew about the Americas. Columbus, Cortez, they all knew about the Americas, but in order for on an esoteric,
Yes, sir.
there's no way because these niggas ain't kings, these niggas ain't queens, these niggas don't have military or navies. And how else are you gonna get the queen to allow you to use her navy other than you give her a fucking really good reason to let you do it? And the reason was I could find a quicker trade route to India. He knew what he was looking for. That's why he had Columbus had such a difficult time to get because he was looked at as a fucking shill because he kept going out and coming back. And so he's like his final pitch, like I got the new way to get to India, and you're like, oh shit, trade, economy, and that's going to segue into like, what's the purpose of keeping people ignorant of their past, ignorant of the truth of their land? Why don't they let us know that? Why is it called Miami? Why is there other cities in Florida that's called Maya? And that did I say Maya? Miami, Maya, Atlantia, Atlantis, Atlantic, Atoll.
Mental ninja. So
They
why
don't
you was
connect
putting
the
up that?
dots
Why you was putting up that fight earlier? That's what I wanted to understand. Now you come and joining the party talking what I
Oh man,
want to
he
hear.
owned
Yeah.
it, man.
And Mental Ninja, you were just putting up the other side of the table. Now, come on now, Mental.
I think you're confusing that with when we're
I
talking about
know. I'm just
archaeological
messing
evidence.
with you.
When we're talking about archaeological evidence, and there's none to support a very common belief, that is a problem. But common belief overrides in the scientific community, and accepted belief, theoretical, will always override any esoteric or occult or shill statement or idea. But like I was saying, so you had Plutarch. There's no actual map that we know of, but all you gotta do is just go through his books, which is a lot of them and shit, and you'll find me talking about the Greek culture and the seafaring that they knew about this shit. You can actually draw onto the map of what they're talking about and coordinate that shit with the American continent. Another book you might like is by Manly P. Hall, an fucking excellent American, or he's Canadian actually, if there ever was one, The Secret Destiny of America, because he puts a lot of shit that I think that you will find very resourceful in his understanding of what he's talking about, this Francis Bacon, New Atlantis and shit. Just to keep in mind, why would they not let us know? Well, because what is our whole world built off of right now? It's not about information. It's not about technology. It's not about saving this or saving that. It's not about fear. It's all
Fear, right?
about consumerism.
Mm.
It's all about supply and demand. And you
Yes,
can
sir.
control the supply and the demand if you can control what the people know about the supply.
I want to show you all something of Huey, if you can. I want you to show my share my screen and
Now
let
we
me
getting
know.
into the nitty gritty.
Yeah, I want to show y'all some stuff. Where is it? Um, this
I
photo. If
want to
y'all,
see artifacts.
yeah, I want to show you something so you can see it with your own eyes. Can y'all see my screen?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Now, if you look over here to the left, you see that face with the hair.
Everybody can see that, right?
If you, yeah, you can see it. Yeah,
Let
Yeah.
you can
me
see the
let me.
picture. Yeah, if you can zoom in, there you go. There you
There
go.
we go. So the top of the
Yep,
head.
I see it now.
Okay, now the rest of it is down on the ground. Now this photo was taken when me and my mama and my dad we went to Nickajack Mountain, and this area is now closed off. We cannot get to this area no more. They got it. You can't drive to it, and you cannot hike. It's a no-fly zone and all of that. And let me see if I can find another picture. Y'all give me 1 second. Um,
The old Mac head too, but go ahead and build.
Yeah, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Um, Here we go.
Yeah, I was just finna ask what that was the representation of. Okay, I see it
Hey,
now.
and he mentioned Florida. You know what I mean? I've been to the mounds up here in Tallahassee. They got some Indian mounds that look similar to pyramids here in Tallahassee. If nobody don't know
Can
about
y'all
it.
can y'all see the
Well,
video?
I stayed in
Yeah.
Tallahassee. I already know.
Yep.
Okay. So it's gonna straighten up some. Now this is the face that's looking out over the cliff. So right now we at almost at the top of the lookout mountain, and we on the Ruby Falls
Ruby
side.
Falls. Hell yeah, I've been all the way
Okay.
down up in there. Hell yeah, Ruby Falls,
Okay,
Tennessee.
now
Yes sir.
you're gonna start seeing the Mayan symbols on the stones and everything. Once I get around, as you can see the brick masonry. You can see the stones making a straight line across. And
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna get closer. I'm gonna get closer. The only way I found this location is reading the old books. That's the only way I can find it. They call this spot Eagle's Nest. And as you can see, those stones are pretty big, but you can get behind the stone. You see that? You can walk in there. I'm just too fat
That's
to get in
granite,
there.
ain't it?
Mm.
Look, I'm finna show you how the stones are layered. Another layer, a higher layer, and look, it's a straight line all the way across. See, Mother Nature don't do that. That's man-made.
Man made. That's granite.
You see the face up there? You see the lips? Let me pause it. My girl paused on it.
Yep, right there. Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, brother, real quick, while you showing that, I just want to let everybody know, Mount Rushmore, those they redid the faces. It was actually some other faces on Mount Rushmore. They redid those faces. pretty
Correct.
much.
It was the original Indian chief fathers, that whoever they honored at that time, it was their faces. But you can see the face, and it had a headdress. It had like a serpent coming out of the forehead, right here where the lips was at. But right here, you can see it's like it's destroyed. Like somebody had to blow it up with maybe cannonballs or something, because they show you all the cannonballs and the cannons that they used in the Civil War. All of this is part of the Civil War.
Because we are prisoners of war.
We are prisoners of war. Yes, sir.
Hey, you
And
know what? There's one thing that we don't really we when schooling, right, in elementary school and middle school and high school, we're always like fascinated by megalithic cyclopean blocks from around the world, but we never really hear too many about the Americas, right? We're talking about the North American continent, right? A lot of people don't know about Pyramid Lake in Nevada, or like you're talking about G. Kincaid and what he found in the Grand Canyon that's fucking turned over to Smithsonian and now is owned that whole section of land. And you can't go there. You will be shot if you go there. They got a Tomahawk, or they have the fucking Apache helicopters and all kind of shit. It's owned by NASA of all people, right? And then you have like the Lovelock Cave and the giants of the Winnemucca tribe here in Nevada and shit. And then in Montana, they don't tell you about the cyclopean fucking blocks. I mean, these motherfuckers are the size of buildings that scatter out a certain region called, I think, Monmouth, Montana and shit. And there's a reason for doing that. Because if you have the general community at large knowing about these things, then people are going to be out there wandering around searching and shit, you know what I'm saying? But if you focus the point on what you can search and where you can search it overseas and stuff, the likelihood of many people going there in their vehicles over, because people don't own planes, is going to be highly slim than it is to searching in your own backyard and stuff. And there's something that, should be look for all the places that you're not allowed to go, all the places that are surrounded and owned by military, by the military, government military and stuff, and know that those places may be in vital importance to your growth of knowledge of your own continent.
Hey, all your national parks, is that. That's what those are. Everything that's national parks has all the hidden history in it.
Anything protected, yeah. Like, look, I lived in this place, right, in Maryland. It used to be a secret military installation, but they declassified it in after 9/11. My dad was an officer in the military, and so my whole family, because he was an officer, we all had a certain security clearance to go inside the mountain called Raven Rock Side R and shit. You know what I'm saying? And there's all kind of crazy stories and myths about the Blair Witch Woods and all that shit. And the thing is that there's hella weird shit that happens, vortexes, all kind of stuff. And when you have the government taking up lands and stuff, that's a clue. That's a clue for the individual. And of course, you're not most likely aren't going to go there without getting in trouble. But it gives you a point of reference on where to start digging through the information. Now that we do have the internet and the Internet Archive and stories and myths, pay attention to stories and myths.
Y'all see how big that rock in the tree is of me? I'm about to stand up on it, but
oh yeah,
the tree is growing out of the rock, and we thought that was strange.
This man, America is that city that everybody been looking for. It is the Egypt. Like, you got Cairo, Georgia. You got places all around this country, man. There's nothing but gems that our people.
We said Decatur is like Arcader. Arcader.
It got
Arcader, Arcata, Decatur, Arcata, or Decatur.
You got St. Augustine when they was looking for the Fountain of Youth. Another so-called place of Fountain of Youth was right there in Tennessee, where they call Ruby Falls, because the reason why they call it because of the minerals and all the waters that our ancestors would drink that will help give you vitality. You know what I mean? I've been to Ruby Falls, bro. You go. I don't know if the brother. Have you been down there, man?
Yes, sir. And I'm trying to show you the video.
It's so dope.
Ruby.
Yes. The temperature down there, man, is like 60 degrees year round, man. It's beautiful, man. Like, I went to Lookout Mountain, Grandfather Mountain, all those places, man. And everything that you said, bro, I seen it with my own eyes as a little kid. My mom and dad used to take us there every year. And I found out too, because my people from Mississippi, from the Delta, from Sunflower, and my grandmother, in my blood, I got Choctaw Indian. They from the Choctaw tribe right there in the Delta, Mississippi, Sunflower, Mississippi.
You see what they selling our minerals and the crystals. This is what they pulled out of Ruby Falls right here. They selling those for like $1,000.
Oh yeah, that's that amethyst. I got some of that. I got a piece of that. Yep. Yes, sir.
Yo,
You ever been to Coral Castle? In was it Homestead, Florida?
that is beautiful.
Nah, but I've heard it's a lot of ruins. Matter of fact, about 5 years ago, down there at Homestead, down in Davie, man, they uncovered all kind of like pottery, all kind of stuff that they say they shouldn't be existed, man, down there, man. Like, and all that stuff, bro. They built right over cemeteries and burial grounds, man, down there. And the only reason why they found it is when Hurricane Andrew came down there. When Hurricane Andrew ripped all that shit up, that's how they found all that stuff over the years, man. All that stuff that they built. They when them Spaniards came over here, them conquistadors came and got all the gold down there in Florida and all that stuff right down there in Homestead.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny too. Like when they say shit like that shit that's not supposed to be there. Like, what do you mean? If it's there, how's it not supposed to be there? And they're always talking reflection to the currently accepted, because there's a panel, like no bullshit.
Yeah, it don't fit the narrative.
Yeah, there's a panel of archaeologists, right? A global panel, like the World Health, like the WHO, the World Health Organization, that they make a decision every year on what will be printed and what will not. And the thing is, they have to maintain the status quo. And that's where you get, and the thing is, like, when we get like Ancient Aliens and Gaia, these networks, they're governed by what's going to be allowed to be talked about and what's not, because these archaeologists have this, like, you know, Hapgood and Childress and Van Donick and all these motherfuckers, bro, they lose their credibility. They lose their fucking licensability to go to these places if they drift off the narrative and shit. So they're fucking sanctioned and legislate on what they can talk about.
You know, that's why they not Hitler. They not Hitler because Hitler drifted. Hitler gonna tell them folk, he gonna say, how y'all leave Aryan and come back Jew? They knocked this motherfucking ass out talking like that. Why the world is another direction, motherfucker? Don't play. You see how we colonizing, you gonna sit here and run your mouth like that. And this shit was real for them Crocker. They did go into some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But the narrative, them German, you know, for a German, you can't shift Germany. You can't, we going this way. Hitler trying to stay over him, and the rest of Crocker hood going that way. Man, knock your ass out. He was the first one of the first one they knocked out. You know what I'm saying? Hitler was.
Hey, that's one thing too. Like, you're not supposed to look into Nazi civilization or their beliefs and stuff unless it's through the lens that they gave to us. They gave us a pair of glasses on how to perceive and see Nazi Germany, right? But they do not get into the actual deep truths of what was going on and why they were so successful. With, you know, I mentioned that Genghis Khan had some of the most greatest astrologers ever lived, right? That's why he was able to conquer so much. Alexander the Great had one. Napoleon had two. You know how many fucking how many Hitler and Himmler had? They had like 250, upper near 200, 300 of these motherfuckers. And
you see that ninja, you see that fist that
you know how many America inherited from the Nazis?
That's why we got them. Bro, look.
Hold up. Y'all bullshit. Most of the shit we got comes from German engineering.
That's what I'm saying.
This is how sick it is, right?
They made us think German engineering is the shit, right? That's what they say. German engineering is the shit.
And
that's what they say.
But
in your plain eye, nigga engineering run the world. German engineering is the shit. German engineering is the shit, right? But in reality, you got a cell phone. In reality, you got a tech. In reality, you can get a hard transplant, but German engineering is the shit.
Hey, real quick, all they did was reverse engineer what we had already created already.
Ain't no man.
That's all it was. They reverse engineered what we already used. We already had all that stuff already.
Right.
Hey, but look, there's one thing too about the Germans, right? My bad. Go ahead, Brandon. My bad.
Oh, I'm gonna say that. Then they brought them over here to America to help them, you know, jump off the whole NASA rocket and all that crap. You know what I'm saying? Right. Reverse engineered. You know what I mean? All the stuff when they so you gotta understand when they went conquering the world, man, and they was up uncovering all this shit. They reversed. They ain't know how none of this shit worked. They had to reverse engineer. Cause think about it, right? If when they killed off all our ancestors, I'm talking about the old heads. They left nothing but the kids roaming.
You right, man.
You know what I'm saying? Think about it now.
You got it up there.
They had
you got it up there. You one of those people that maintain the information, the G and the square.
They real quick. They had to kill off all the high priests, all the ones with knowledge. They had to kill them all off.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Great grandchildren, and we are those. So we had a lack of knowledge, but we getting our shit back. So that's what I'm saying.
It's the G and the square niggas that kept that knowledge. Like it's those people that come from those families.
All the knowledge.
What you got on that thing you got on your avatar. The people that got great granddaddies and stuff that come from that. That's how we got a lot of it, because those people kept that.
Guess what? Well, so check it out. I'm gonna give you some more gems about that compass in the squad. That's ours too. Cause think about it.
That's what I'm saying. All the people who kept the information right here. Like
they stole it. They stole it. So check it out. You got your Prince Halls, right? Mm-hmm. Prince Hall, he was a so-called what they call a slave or prisoner of war.
Right.
Pretty much to sum it up, all this what I'm about to say, and then we go back to the bill. That image is ours. That's how we was able to navigate the world. That's how we was able to build those.
And these motherfucking on ticket try to make it seem like it's them.
Yeah, it's all our shit. It's all ours. Mm-hmm. That's our ancestors able to map out the stars and all. This our shit. You know what I'm saying? So I came back and I took back my knowledge from my ancestors. I took it back.
That's right. That's right.
Like Robin Hood, I take from the rich and give to the poor. But y'all go ahead.
Turn up.
Hey, peace to you, Brandon, man. Peace to you, Brandon.
Like he got the square and the compass, right? Hey, so like he had the square and the compass, right? My avatar has a square and the compass too. It's not the actual physical boom right there, square and compass. But if you look at the degrees and the measurements between that bird and that all-seeing eye, and you draw the square and compass, you gonna see it there, and it's the G's there too with the eye in the center of that triangle. Because we are OTL come from the same thing. But look, this is one thing about the journey.
Where you come from, but mine show you the pyramid on mine right there. If you look at mine, it show you the pyramid.
It's all good. We all come from.
So tell me this right here, since y'all so smart, how did y'all let the Chinese people right there? Why did Roselle? How did they let the Chinese people get what we call the elixir for life, and then turn that into what we now know as a projectile or the bullet?
Hey, so look, you got to think too, man. Like China, like I'm part Chinese. My fucking great grandfather was a fucking Chinese king, immigrated from China and shit, right? So I got no beef with other ideas of the human and stuff, right?
No people, how did they get the information to make the bullet?
Think of it like this.
But they created the projectile that the European made the bullet. So let me clean that up.
It's like, look, bro, it's the Japanese anyway, right? They had the fireworks, right? With the fucking gunpowder and shit, right? But think of it like this: nobody is discovering anything new. We're all discovering from the same fucking quarry that everybody else will ever discover anything from. Solomon said there's nothing on the sun. We're all looking at it from a different perspective, and we're all going to find something.
What's that? You gonna dig at now? The folk over there in the middle of the East gonna shoot your ass down if you over there trying to dig for Abraham and Jesus. And America won't let you dig at all.
See, we're talking about digging. We ain't talking about talk about like crate digging, like DJs do. They go into the fucking archives of the knowledge that's been preserved. That's why we got secret sites in mission school to this day that use the symbolism to preserve stuff for people like us to find, whether we're initiated or not. Motherfuckers gonna find it if they want to find it, if they looking for it. But the one thing about the Germans, right? I want to convey this to y'all, right? The one thing about the Germans is they were so fucking open-minded, bro. They were beyond belief of an open mind society and shit. That's why they went to the Japanese, and Japanese like, hey, we found something in the ocean. We don't know how to work it, but you guys got these scientists. Maybe you could show us, because it's about the stars and shit. And it has something to do with these Aryans, these Hindu, these Indians, these Indus people that you're talking about. The Germans, and that's why what they did, they were angry at the Jews. They saw what the fuck was going on with consumerism, with the World Bank idea and shit, and charging people for the sophistry shit. What's fucking for free for everybody, and they wanted to stop that. Stalin killed way more people than Hitler's Germany did, but they pushed that narrative because they don't want you to dig like the fucking Germans did.
Hey, I'm gonna build on that. I'm gonna
That's
build on
heavy,
that, right?
man.
I'm gonna build on that. You got to think about it. There was already a government, or that was already structured before your so-called Caucasian Asian people came and overthrew what we got, right? So again, when you look at it, all our ancestors, bro, this was a thriving metropolis everywhere around this fucking planet, everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Just like we know that Hitler took the swastika, which was a symbol that don't have shit to do with what the fuck they used it for, but they stole
Right.
it. They stole all that shit. They stole all the symbols. Like the Star of David, that was a tribal thing. That it ain't got shit to do with no damn Jew ramming the goddamn yarmulke. But even then, the yarmulke is worn by some of your most ancient tribes in Africa, and even here, some of our ancient tribes in America.
Talk about
the Maasai tribe. You know what I'm saying? My dad done been over there to Kenya and Congo. You got black people that's blacker than oil that wear yarmulkes, what they call it, but they ain't got nothing to do with a damn Jew. They stole that stuff because, again, when they killed off all the high priests and all the ones with all the knowledge, it's like this. Right now, if you got a house full of babies, right, and you and your wife, somebody come kill off the wife and the daddy, then guess what? What's left? Nothing but the kids. The kids ain't got no knowledge. So now you can teach them kids what the fuck you want to teach them, because now you are their mama and dad, and that's what we are in.
Right, and
now
you bringing it right. Let me ask you
this is where all of us come from. The Trail of Tears children, all those who were slaughtered, all of the kids that they reindoctrinated in that right hemisphere, like they said, put the Christianity in there. Then they started implanting his story, all the lies. Then they started putting all the books and stuff. So now you're looking at all these pictures of lies, hearing the stories of lies, and all of that. That's where it all came from.
Matter of fact, you know, they call that in high school, they said that was called a Renaissance era, or the Dark Ages, when they rewrote history.
Dark Ages.
When they installed your queen and queens of England and the Yorks and the Lords and all these motherfuckers. They
you know, that's the first time they opened up over there, man. That's the first time they opened up the Vatican during the Renaissance era, where you can read some of that stuff. Well, during Barack Obama's era, shout out to him. You know, he started the Information Act, and the Information Act, the Vatican released like another mile of books. Now they got like 53 square miles worth of information. Now my question to y'all is, if niggas, I ain't gonna even say niggas, I ain't even say black people, if people was privy to that info, do you think they can handle? Do you think the world can handle all the information? 53 miles of books in the Vatican. Barack Obama was able to open only 1 mile because of his presidency. 1 mile get this information out, but now we got 52 miles of books left.
Right. I'm gonna tell you. Look, I'm gonna tell you, and it's so crazy, but it worked. It took them 400 years to indoctrinate us not to read and write. And think about it. Now that we can read and write, when it was against the fucking law for us to read and write, we won't open up no fucking book. And that's what they count on. The everything is here now. We got even the fucking internet where you can get knowledge at the click of your damn finger, but we don't want to read because they indoctrinated us. But it takes people like us now to open them books and go ahead and spill all that information out, because it's here, bro. Like my brother just showed you. Right now, if you go to Tennessee, you will see all this shit with your own eyes. You will see it right now.
So you don't think that what you just said, right? You don't think that with that, like you just said, it took 400 years to indoctrinate and people don't read, blah blah blah. You don't think that with that, those 400 years, they took the implanting of the spells of words in the English language, which is what that 400 years.
Of course, my sister. Yes.
Excuse me 1 second. I'm trying to make a point on what you're saying. I don't want to lose my thought, honey. I'm sorry. From what you're saying, because something you just said is like, it's kind of backwards, because even though it was like you saying they did it, the indoctrination for people not to read, it was more so they took us away from the natural way we talk, which we weren't using those words and languages. The switching, that movie Roots, when it shows where homeboy was beating the Kunta Kinte, talking about your name Toby, beating him. That was that, that how that went, like to force that on us, because we knew these words ain't right, this ain't right. They knew they might not have knew exactly why it didn't feel right, but they didn't know it was spells. They didn't know.
I'm with you on that.
all this Christianity was indoctrinated. And somebody said something about the spell. I'm not the spell. I'm sorry. I want to go back to ask about that. Somebody said something about the secret from the Pope. Now it's a lot of different things that they have from their indoctrination. Is there something specifically you're talking about? Because I'm thinking something in mind, and I just want to know if you're talking about the same thing.
Well, what I was getting was that when during the 400 years that we weren't allowed to read and write was the same time that they was redoing history and creating a history for us. That's what that was about. And there's another brother, I forgot his name, and it was I thought it was a pretty cool idea. But he was saying that the language that we speak now, because you understand something, the Caucasian, right? Those from the Caucasus Mountains, no matter if you heard it first from the Nation of Islam or whatever, they didn't know how to speak. So the language that we speak now, the tongue that we speak right now, is the tongue that's always been. We taught them how to speak. We taught them how to bathe. We taught them. Now where I'm still looking and trying to find is, how did they conquer us? And I think the brother, he kind of led into it when they got the bullet and they got the gunpowder, and then they was able to conquer us with the firepower, with the gun.
That is correct.
You know, and I think that's where the times turned, because we had the spears and the arrows and the knives, but when that bullet,
You kind of cutting out.
Your mic went down, bro.
You sound muffled, bro. You sound muffled.
Your mic got raptured.
Hey, check this out, right? Hey, so look. Right. One thing I want to suggest, right, for everybody's consideration is, like, you know how Brandon's talking about, like, the information knowledge is stolen, and that is true to a degree, but like, he's initiated into the Masonic order, I'm initiated into the Order of Templi Orientis order. I'm a Templar, okay, and Oriental Templar. Now, this is the issue: is that anybody that fits the credentials of, you know, being an 18-year-old man or an OTO man or woman, believing in God and being of good report, anybody can technically get in. Now, once you learn this information, what are you going to do with it? And how do you think that this information from our ancestors was actually stolen? Like, they fucking hit a nigga in the head or some high shit, and like, he copied the information? No, these niggas fit the credentials. They passed initiations, and whether they did it themselves or they told some or initiated somebody else that took that information and used their advantage because of a certain mindset.
Let me tell you how I look at it, Mental Ninja. I was in the
hold on one second, Dark Chart. Hold on one second, Black Chart. Sister Soul, when you coming in, when the other brothers are speaking, it's echoing. That's the reason why I keep muting you. I know you want to get in with them. If you can, just stop. I don't know what it is. Echoing on the back end, so you can come in. No, you good. I just want to make sure that you can get in and interact with everybody. That way you can get in when it's sparking your energy.
Okay, brother. Sorry about that. I'm taking the case off now.
All right, there you go, Charles.
Yeah, so I was in the studio with this cat last night, right? And he had his artist in the booth, and how he was going along with the song. Is a young cat, and I'm like, oh, he's staying with the song. He ain't just in there like, you know how they do now. They punch in, they don't write like we do because they feel like we ancient. But there's one particular cat, he's staying with the concept of what the song is about. He ain't like these other artists. I said, oh, he got the code. Y'all gave him, yes. I said he been around other seasoned people that know the sauce. They keep you in tune to the song, right? So when you say how did they get that information, like to build a building or to make they government buildings look like how we would have done them, is because they was around somebody that had the sauce. You know what I'm saying? You mix this material with that material and you put it in this right here, and you take the square and the compass and you turn it in whichever way, and now you leveled out. So somebody gave them the secret, not written down, but showed, you know what I'm saying, showed it to him.
Hey, look, the way you just brought it, you made it easy, right? So,
Mental Ninja, real quick question. So, are you saying that all of this stuff is more attributed to, okay, this is they overcame everybody because they were into the Masonic order and they were under or opposed to the things that they were wrapping them up into or whatever? Is that what you kind of saying? I just want to make sure I hear what you're saying.
No, what I'm saying is, when you have a person who's moving around, right, to different lands, and he comes into contact with people of a certain land, and they have a certain system that they are very heavily scrutinizing any individual to learn this tribal, really this human universal knowledge. They're gonna put that motherfucker to the test. Make sure that they're tried and true, right? However, even though the best and the worst candidate can still pass the test, what they do with the information will show what kind of person they are. And this is what it comes down to: good people and fucking bad people. And what my brother brought up, Black Charm, the idea of hip hop. Now, hip hop came from the Bronx, KRS-One and Grandmaster, all them niggas, right? Look what it's become. Look what people learn the art form and learn the techniques. And what they done with it? They turned to a fucking cesspool. But in the heart of hip hop, there are still individuals, rest in peace, MF Doom, that have still used the craft in its right way. But people will use it for their own means and their own ends and stuff. And I'm gonna say this also: when we go into the narrative, and this is a narrative, I say it, I stress this, the white, bad, Caucasian narrative, we will miss important shit. And I'm gonna suggest the person that everybody start looking up and start listening to his long ass 70,000 hours of lectures is Manly Hall. Because
Manly
if
P.
the
Hall.
information
Manly P. Hall.
was stolen, we have that fucking man. That is a beautiful mind. Just he's white. Yeah, he's a 33rd degree Freemason and shit. But look at his eyes. He
I'll
tells
What's his
you
name again, bro?
Manly P. Hall. Hey, mention this. I'm real quick. I
Manly P.
co-sign it. The man, when you hear him speak, and as a black man, as a copper man, as a god, a lesser god walking this earth, when you hear this man speak, you know that he speaks from the heart. There ain't no black, white. He just give you the truth. And he a Mason. This is a white man now. This is a man that was speaking around the 1920s, 1930s.
M-A-N-E-Y?
What kind of truth?
M-A-N-L-Y.
Hey, Brandon and Sister Soul, y'all kind of low. If y'all can come up just a little bit,
Real
Brandon.
quick, and really, and let me just say this real quick. It don't even really matter that he was a Mason. It's the fact that the truth and his love for the truth and giving it to the people, what it's about. Don't look at the fact that he was a Mason. It's the fact that what he gave out to the people, no matter what color you are, no matter what background you from, it was the fact that this man was giving out knowledge so powerful that, like Mental Ninja was saying, at the heart of it is good, but something that's good can be used for bad. You know what I'm saying? You think about a gun. You can use that same gun to protect your family, but somebody else will take that gun and go on a mass killing spree. You see what I'm saying? That's what this thing is about, really. So when we was building all these monuments and structures and all this stuff, the Caucasian man, a white man, whatever you want to call them, the Asian man, they took that knowledge and they erected structures and they built this world we have today. Right now, they running this shit, but there's gonna be a fall. And so we gotta position ourselves to be able to pick up and take this shit back, because it's gonna fall. Everything gotta fall. Even the sun has to set. It will rise, but that sun has to set. So this new Rome, right? This Babylon go fall. So we gotta make sure that now in this age where we can get all our knowledge back, we gotta be able to ascend from the ashes like the phoenix. But I'll pass the mic.
Hey, look, I'm gonna suggest one. So look, Manly Hall, bro. Look, we're talking about the Obama citing this act, the Information Act. Nigga, Manly Hall already did it. The Library of Congress.
But it wasn't privy to everybody though when Manly Hall was on it.
Yeah, hey,
when Obama got on it, then everybody
Hear me out. Anybody can go to LA and go to the Theosophical Research Society. He created this dude in my opinion, he's the greatest human being I've ever fucking listened to, I've ever knowledge of. The real G, because of what he did, bro, right? Look at Google or YouTube, Manly Hall, the Golden Verses of Pythagoras is such a beautiful thing. He talks about truth. And you can look up any Atlantean, anything you want to know, he's going to give it to you. Yeah, it's an hour. You got like 60 years of recordings of his life. And he wrote fucking, nobody knows how many books and stuff, man. But like, he died. He had a fucking weird ass death and shit. But if you want a point of reference, that is a guy who was in the fucking sauce, that's on the other side of stuff, and have a fucking unbiased, truthful view, you're going to thank yourself and thank him and thank knowledge and wisdom as itself when you start peeping that nigga shit. No bullshit. That is a fucking jewel.
Hey, Sister Soul, you can come in, but your mic, I swear, every time it come in, it's echoing. It's echoing.
I don't know what it is. Let me try the echo thing and see if that's it.
Yeah. That's good right there. Whatever it's doing now, you good right now.
Okay, sorry about that, y'all. I didn't mean to
All
cut
right,
you.
you good now. So now you can leave
But
your mic off. What I was gonna say, dang. Knowledge the most. What to do, family? Welcome to the platform, brother. I wanted to welcome you to the platform and let you come in and add your piece in, and then that way you can get in. Where you can get in, bro. Welcome to the
Okay,
platform.
peace, man. Appreciate you having me. Yeah, I kind of my phone fucked up the last time I was trying to get in, and and then it died. So, but yeah, what I was gonna tie in is a couple brothers that definitely been going in with the research and the information, and if I can maybe add a little pieces of a drop for those who out there researching. So, yeah, what the brother was speaking on some of the stuff that was going on this land, which is the true holy land. This is the true old world. And what I was gonna tie in is, they created a lot of that history, that false history and those fake Egypts and shit over a period of time where they was actually sending people here to war with our peoples. They were stealing information, they were stealing artifacts and creating religious doctrines behind this mythology, and they was creating a lot of they were creating books and fairy tales and stories and a lot of stuff. A lot of those people got rich and famous by creating certain stuff. And some of those people was actually, they still getting paid today. But what I was gonna go into is um when you talk about King David and King Solomon, let me throw a couple crunch bars in there because you really talking about the story of what they were referred to as Prester John. So all of these mythologies and this dude King David, King Solomon, this is all mythologies that refer to what is called the Grand Khan or the King of the Khans. The Khan is the word for priest king. So the brother got into the Germanic and talking about Hitler, etc., and how they used the Nazi symbol, which is the Naga symbol, and that comes from America. Yeah, America is one of the out of there was three Indias. Anybody want to do the research? There were three Indias, and America is what was referred to as India Superior. So when you got all of that Hindu symbology, yeah, that doesn't come from Asia for real, for real. That Asia is one of the three Indies. That's India Minor. America's India Superior and the India Major is the lands over to our east. But all right, I said all that to say this. Most of the stuff that they talking about when you deal with the word Khan, you talking about priest king. So the Celtics, they had a priestly group amongst them that were referred to as the Druids, which carry that same exact serpent symbology with the serpent on the forehead and all of that. Yeah, that's American stuff, but it comes from America is the Indias, all three of them. But all right, so I'm sorry if I know I talked a little different, but
No, you
I don't want
good.
to
Keep
sound too
going. Keep
crazy.
building,
So
Go
baby.
ahead,
it's
man. You
all
good?
You
Go
good.
go
ahead.
in. Go ahead. Go. Shoot.
so the word Khan itself is priest king. So when you look at the Druids, they were the Khans for the Celtics. They were the priest kings, pretty much the high, the spiritual class, the majesty, the magistry class. When it comes to the, I guess, the spiritual hierarchy. So it's the same thing when you get back to studying the Americas and you realize that all of these tribes, like, they had these same things, like, and it all ties back into the Mayans. They give all of these different tribes, they all have distinguishing names that separate them, but they really are the same people. The Olmecs is the Mayans, the Toltecs is the Mayans. So I just
But
said that
wasn't
to
the
That's
say
a
this. When
Mayans
you
fact.
the
That's a fact.
Philippines and the Mexicans? Isn't that where they derived from? The
Yeah,
mixing the Philippines and the Mexicans?
well, yeah,
Yeah.
it actually comes from where they get one of the stories that they got of Moses. The stories and stuff that they got from Moses, we got in the ancient codexes from America that they just try to reinterpret to us in different ways. But yeah, you got a dude named Moshe, or a character named Moshe, or Meshi. This is where you get the word Mexican and everything. You notice that you got the word Khan within all of the names of these lands. That's how you tell them this is a holy land. This is the land of the priest kings, the Khans. The word Khan means priest king. So the Mexicans is the Mexicans. So even if you look at the lineage of David, they were all named David. That just show you like the Messis, that's where we get the word Messiah. And where we get, you know what I mean, the word Messiah come from the Meshek, the Messis, the Mexicans. And all, this is some of the tribes that were you know, on that lower border of America and Mexico today, but all of this was one land. This is the land of the priest king. So American, Mexican, Canada, all of this is dealing with the Holy Land terminology because it's the land of the priest kings. Even like when you get the word where you get the Grand Canyon and all those underground stuff. So like, what'd you say?
African.
Yeah. The word even Hong
comes
Kong.
from Africanus, though. That was the white man that conquered the land name, and they named it after him. That's how they named a lot of those lands over there.
It wasn't even a place called Africa. I'm sorry for cutting you off, babe. But there wasn't a place called Africa. That was a small piece in that continent that was on the northern part where we have Carthage, and that was actually what they said was the land of the Phoenicians, which is Egypt. And those folks that they said was the Egyptians, they said that they came from Atlantis. So, you know, when you get into Thoth or whatever, you'll see that he not an Egyptian. He came from somewhere else that they refer to as Atlantis, which then you come over here and you see that we in this place of all when you get into the etymology of the history of the words that we use to describe this land, you see they really been knew this. They know what this is, and they went out their way for the past 400 or 500 years to hide it under layers of fake mythology and fake history from all angles to tell us that hide the truth that we the story that they trying to tell us about, but they speaking to us in a mythological way. And that's a form of witchcraft. They trying to alter our perception of this shit because they know we can crush this shit with one thought if we all thinking the same thought.
Right. So is it mythology or is it real?
Or is it just trying to make us focus on something else that is not important as everything else does?
Correct.
You know, it's always it's still taking us back into the physical stuff, right? When you think about it, like now we having all these conversations. The brother just said, "Oh yeah, they've been going in on the history and this and that," which is good to know. I ain't saying nothing bad. Don't get it twisted, because I'm definitely not saying that. I'm glad they're doing that. What I'm saying though is that doing all this, right? Look at all the focus now that's on. We got to prove this our land. Now, mind you, we know this our land, right? They know this our land. But it's all the conversation and all the focus and all the thoughts going into the land. What about this land? Here we go, more focusing on the physical stuff and what's I know that we're in the physical, but like the more we stay in the physical or focus on physical stuff, it keeps us and take us more away from the spiritual stuff, which is us on the inside, the self. I don't know. I don't want to say nothing that sounds stupid or negative, y'all. I just feel like it's important to say that, because I swear it's been
Ain't nothing stupid negative, man.
Let me just finish up one little thing. I'm gonna add this little tidbit in before, you know what I mean, and pass it back to you guys real quick. Cause you had touched on a couple things too, and it was when you talk about the history and like what we call in Jewish is the same exact word as Druid. This is a title. You know, it means the priest king. The same thing as Khan. So Druid is also the same exact word as David. So David, Druid, and Jewish is all exactly the same word. I just wanted to throw that in there. Just anybody who researching, just keep that in the back of your mind.
Oh, you just said something there because you use words like me, and then that add into I can add this, and you were just talking about Atlantis and how we was talking about Arabian Mountain, and Athens, Georgia, Sparta, Spalding, Rome, Georgia, and then you said it's Druid, and we got North Druid Hills, North Druid, which is
Druid Hill.
Yep, drawing the hills. You know what I'm saying? So we draw in the hills. We draw in our ills. So we draw in the hills, which is the high hills. We draw in the high ills. So this is how we have to heal ourselves, is by withdrawing. Remember, I was telling y'all about drawing. This is the reason why with our bank accounts, they got us drawing or withdrawing money. Withdrawing is what you call channeling. This is why you have to withdraw. You have to draw the energy, which is being drawn in. You have to draw. They have to open you up and put you in a slot, which is being drawn. You was being pulled in something. They was luring you. They was dragging you. You was being drugged. You feel what I'm saying? Because they was dragging the dragon. Because they knew that we was the one who was the fire. We was the one that was the flame. We was the mystical everything. We was the mystical. This is why our story is such a mystery. Because it's dealing with the mystics. My story, which is I. You dealing with the mysterious, my story.
Mayan.
Yes, the
When you get into the word
Mayan.
Mayan and then the word Mayak, which is the mother, you know what I mean? We talking about the motherland. My bad though.
No, go ahead, bro. You good? Go ahead.
Yeah, the Mayan. It go back to that Mayan, and they show you that that's even where who the Egyptians got their stuff from. What they call in the Phoenicians, where we get the word Phoenix.
Right.
Phoenix is the word Phoenician, but it's where when you look at it, it's actually, and I think the Hebrew break down this Pahanak, which is the house of Enoch.
Hey,
So
check this
Pa
out, right?
means it's like the house of.
Oh Lord.
So you got Pahanak, which is where you get the word Phoenix from. And you get that whole resurrection type story with Enoch and that ascension level shit, and that all tied back into
Enoch.
Hey, check this out, y'all. So look, when he was talking about like myth, right? Is the myth, right? I don't think that we really know what myth means, right? Myth is Greek, mythos or mythos, right? Speech, thought, word, discourse, conversation, story, saga, tale, anything delivered by word of mouth. So what we're doing right now is fucking myth. We think myth means it means a fantastic story and shit by the Greeks. And even the word myth is possibly pre-Greek. Now we have the Druids, we have David, and we have the Jew, right? The Druids are mythological, a story told by verbal storyline. We don't really know if they existed. We don't know if they didn't. The Druid means a magician or a sorcerer, and their legend is Atlantean type legend, right? Now the Jews, their whole fucking legacy is mythological. It's legend. It's not even based out of fucking real history outside of the Bibles in the books, these religious scriptures and stuff. No archaeological evidence to support, like I was talking about, 4 years of captivity, to the basis of their whole premise for world domination, right? And then we have David, right? David didn't even exist. He's a fucking myth. Moses didn't exist. They're myths. What kind of myth were they talking about? It is a verbal story, communication of the operation of our exact science of our environment, meaning the stars and man, the psyche of man. Now, the funny thing about it, right, is that Druid also means one who knows the oak, symbolizing the tree, right? What is David known for? The fucking family tree of Jesus Christ. And what is the Jewish whole thing? It's all based on the Kabbalah, the tree of life. See, now when we start, that's the problem. What we have when we don't use cross-pollination with religions. We like, no, it's this one Kemet, and that's only look no left looking, no up, no down, just Kemet. Stare at it. We don't look at the other religions and stuff. We don't find the commonalities and similarities and realize that it's all myth. But the biggest question, I don't know how many people believe in a divine intelligence or a source or all father or a God or a higher power or whatever you want to call it. Where is God? I'm going to use a general term. Where is God in all of this? And if you think about that, maybe all this is happening for a specific divine reason for the purpose of existence as a whole, that we have to go through these stages because it's like a show, it's like a drama, and every part has to be
Are
played.
you an atheist?
It's like you double talking.
Are you hold on, I'm sorry, sweetheart.
For real.
Are you excuse me. Are you an atheist?
Well, my belief in God might
Hold on, sweetheart. Let's not
it could
start with
be
the
in the
trickery of
interpretation of
words.
what atheist is.
I just asked, you know what an atheist is. So I've asked you simple questions. Let's not play mind games. I just asked you a question. It's not a big deal. I just want to know because now I'm starting to understand you more when you just talk. That just clarified. So I just want to verify, if that's what it is. I mean, be proud of what you are. I mean, stand up for it. I'm just saying, that's what it is, right?
I'm gonna tell you the truth. Yes and no. I'm an
Okay.
atheist if my concept differs from yours. I will not. My God, the way you
Okay.
think of it
All right,
is
sweetheart. You
an
don't have to go
atheistic
any
God, I
more
guess.
into it. Go ahead with your conversation. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just want to
I
clarify
just
something. Go ahead.
I just want to jump in on the myth stuff. Y'all really killing me to say it's the myth, and then when you try to back it up, it's almost you saying it's not a myth. So it's kind of confusing. But to get rid of the confusion, when you get into King David, that's not the only name that Moses had. He went by another name of Sikota, and he also went by another name. The Egyptian name for Moses is Tanub. Now you can actually find Tanub in history. Now, when you research Tanub, that's it. That's an Egyptian language. You'll see that Ta means the king, Lord King, priest king, and
Priest
the
King.
the Nub is the Egyptian that took his people across the water. So when you research Tanub and you get you a good Bible before 1611, get you one of those, and it'll show you that Tanub is the name they gave to Moses when he took his people across the water to safety, and they built the city by the name of Cathayo. And when you research Cathay, you'll see that's Colorado today. So if he was a myth, Colorado should not be there. If he was a myth, Cathayo should not be there. It'll be named something totally different. That's all I'm
Well,
saying. The man did
hey,
live.
so what I'm saying, look,
Let
you
me
gotta
throw
pay
this in there
attention.
because okay, good, because I got
One thing to consider, right, is the science and the way these books are written. Moses saved a bunch of people that Egypt has no fucking record of. These slaves that
Research
like homeless
Tanub.
people.
I just gave you the
Listen,
name to
let me
look
finish.
up.
Right? And the funny thing is, you have one story from one part of the world. You have another story another part of the world. They're both talking about the same thing. Both talk about the same time, which was in the age of Taurus, under the sign of Taurus. And what is Moses depicted with fucking horns? If you look at Moses, you look at statues, that nigga got horns. And what happened when he came back down with the Ten Commandments? Who had built the golden bull? The people had built the golden bull. So we're talking about astrotheology and stuff because we do know it is impossible for anybody to split a river in half and walk through it with the lunar tides, that bullshit they pitch and shit. So if that's not possible, we know that it's not possible. There must be another explanation for it. However, the zodiacal processes of our natural environment will fit these stories. Even Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent and shit, you're gonna find the ties to the zodiac. You're gonna find the ties to a certain deified animal in position with the zodiac. With all, see, this is the thing. All these people, like Brandon said, there was a global maritime civilization just like today, and there always will be, and there will be a catastrophe, and there will be a rebirth and renewing of it, similar to the same way that the human evolution from a sperm all the way to the egg to the ovum, all the way to birth, will symbolize in reflection these same processes. Multiple, basically micro to macro and vice versa. The flood story is birth.
So
It's traveling from one.
instead of a myth, couldn't it be a comparison? Couldn't it be comparable, just like we're comparable to what's going on with the atmosphere and the stars, just like we connect, just like we're in the same heartbeat and everything rhythm as this earth is, just the same way that we breathe and resonate, the same way these stars are that we look up at night. Don't you think that it's very possible that when you're comparing these myths, as you call them, the things aren't compared, they're compared, but when you look at them, they're exactly the same in the same way that we're referenced to right now. And we in 2020.
It's
And
the
we talk
exact
about
look.
this all the time.
Nothing.
We
Hey,
we talk
nothing
about
new is under the sun. Exactly what
exactly.
you
All
said.
I'm
So
saying
the
is,
science of
Hey,
today,
hold on. You're starting to be contradictory. Let's clarify. So when you're saying that, You're saying one thing, then you're saying something else. You're agreeing with one thing, then you're agreeing with one thing else. You're saying this is good, then it's not. Like, let's say something back with the books. You're saying things about these books. You keep referencing books, this, and that. But the book that he has that sounds very, very clear to me, it sounds like other information. He's reading a book, right? From information I've heard from my grandmother, information I've heard from other people, and things that I've been listening to. Here he comes today with a book I never even heard of, thought about, read, nothing, this, and that, and clarifying things that the spirit has already showed me in my head. And this stuff I already know. We've been talking about it on Huey Show for weeks. All this stuff. And here this brother comes with a very clarification, actual proof that's so-called hidden but not hidden, just like everything is hidden right in your face. This is how they do with everything. So just like he has that very good proof right there, and your study going back and like, oh, in this story, and this one and this one and that one, you're going and validating everything that everyone else has written and has said in the past by these stories that have come down, but you're discrediting what he's saying. And that's confirming stuff that we can see. He showed a video that confirmed everything that he just talked about in detail as far as some of these things and proving this and that. I'm just confused. I just want to know where you're coming from, baby. And I ain't trying to be nasty.
No, you're good. You're good. I understand what you're saying.
Oh, this is what it is. Like Miller Ninja said, he simply said we might not be saying or hearing what the myth is. Like just by us speaking, this is a myth. By the definition of what
idea behind
the idea of what a myth is, by us just sharing these thoughts collectively out here, speaking these things is what a myth is, right? Or telling us.
Look, literally, anytime you communicate to somebody else using your mouth, that is what a myth is, and that is how myths are primarily held down with being passed on through verbal communication. But there's other forms of myth, because you can speak with stone by carving. You can speak with the spelling and stuff. Now, when we're talking about, I'm not going back and forth. What I'm doing is I'm connecting both parts from the middle, because like if all I need to show is a video and that's a video, because that's what we're used to seeing for authority and shit. But to actually go and actually get into these philosophies, these religious beliefs, and free yourself from the lesser result of comparing to see who's right and who's wrong, but seeing what is the similarities and shit, you're going to find that, like Solomon said, even though he never existed, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Everything is connected. What we're talking about is our science is it's a different concept of the same device, and vice versa. We're not discovering new things. We're rediscovering new ways to say it.
Yeah, in actuality, Mental Ninja is actually pushing both sides of the table from a neutral position as I sit here and listen to him, because he agreed with what Nola had brought up about the Jews, David, and the third one. What was the third one? Jewish. David, David, and Druids. He actually agreed, but he agreed with it, but then discredited with the mythical angle of it, but agreed with it in the same sentence almost, because they did tie back to Atlantis and all that type of storytelling. So I like he actually pushing the envelope. So let's keep digging.
Yeah, so because I'm gonna kind of I want to kind of tie in what we're saying, because at the same time, it's not like he's wrong, because he's actually right. And this is where I was going with it, because all of these mythologies that we have come from a certain understanding of certain concepts in the ancient world. That these aren't necessarily saying that, oh yeah, there was a King Solomon, because when you're saying King Solomon, that we're not even there's a whole concept behind what that name is even representing.
I'm trying to bypass
just like the rest of them.
Y'all being disrespectful. So you're gonna tell me all these people at the Library of Congress and all these early explorers, they lying about what they saw? Because that's what y'all saying. That's what y'all.
I'll say this, bro.
No, what I'm saying. Let me just say this real quick, because
all of y'all just spoke. I couldn't get in, so I'm finna rip the scene. All of y'all just said it's a myth. I heard myth. I ain't hear no.
What does myth mean, though?
Hold on, slow down, bro.
What does myth mean?
Slow down. I'll let you talk. I'm talking. So now I got maps showing the city of Carthagena on the map in the 1500s. So again, how can that city exist if the man never exists? How can he have a city named after him, for him, if and the city is right here in our face? And then you come with a myth, and then you start double talking. Everything I just presented, the cheapest book I just showed you was $25,000. The Ancient History of America, that book with all the Israelites and Hebrews in it, it's $125,000, sir. It's a book we don't supposed to see, sir. And I'm getting it out of the Library of Congress, sir. And then they do a background check on you to go into this area, sir. They even ran my goddamn. So what I'm trying to tell you, I'm giving you information that these folks saw when they came, and here you come around the corner talking about, oh, that's a myth. When they got the freaking artifact, they say they got rumors and
I
artifacts.
think you misinterpreted what I said.
I
The
don't care
word
about what you
myth.
said,
Listen,
sir.
bro,
Let me
real
finish.
quick. I know
Let
you
me
don't.
finish. You got
You
the
don't care.
cross on your symbol.
Hold on. Hey, this is what it is. This is why I said that, because they're not saying, they're not discrediting your information. This is what crypto was saying, brother. And they're not saying
I
that
ain't giving y'all no myths. I want
hold on. Hear me out. Look. Hear me out.
Bro, you're using
Listen,
you don't even know what myth is if you're getting upset.
Let me show y'all because I'm trying to.
Tell him
Look up
that's
the
what
etymology
English
and
should
put on
do.
screen share so we can understand.
Yeah,
That's
I was
what
trying.
English should
Definition
do.
of word myth.
And
Yeah, I'm
I'm
looking up the
sorry,
word
brother.
myth.
Brother,
Just
I
like you made it up.
understood what he was
Look,
saying.
y'all. The word myth. The word myth. For some reason, I was trying to screen share, but it ain't gonna let me screen share it. It's a traditional story, especially one concerning the early history of a people, or explaining some natural or social phenomenon, and typically involving supernatural beings or events. All right, that's the first one. All right,
Look
and
at
it does
etymology.
say folk tales. It says folk tales, stories, legends, tales, fables, sagas, and everything. All right. So then number two is a widely held but false belief or idea. All right. The origin of the word is Greek, Latin, modern Latin. All right. And
Hey, Huey,
yes,
go
Lord.
type in myth etymology. Go to Etymo online. It should be like the second or third choice down. So you're getting a dictionary definition, but we want
Yeah.
the original word meaning, which
All right.
involves any speech. I'm not, and the thing is, that's the problem. We're taught a myth is only one thing. And like, if so and
Yes.
so built, there's a city named after so and so, he must have existed. Have you ever heard of Devil's Tower? Have you ever heard of Hell's Kitchen? Then do those places, are they built by the devil himself? See, and that's the thing, is that just because it has a name of something doesn't automatically mean it was built by that man. So, Moses never built a city, for one. And the whole
His
story, when
people
you
did,
get in,
because this is a story you haven't heard of. I'm reading from books you're not familiar with, sir. That's why I'm giving you the information. That's why I gave you the name Tanu. If you research under Tanu, you will find a whole different story, sir. It's not what you been thinking. You see what I'm saying? Like I had to go to a different way to start researching, and I had to go follow war records, what the people was
okay, so look,
doing.
let me ask you a
They find
question.
out
I'm
stuff.
gonna ask you a question, right? So we have limited, very limited knowledge of Moses, only in a couple books. No historical, archaeological, concrete evidence. Nothing, right?
So how
Yes.
you
So
have
all
a
this
letter?
information, let me finish.
Etymology.
Write a
The
letter, sir.
etymology of the word from French myth 1818 and directly from modern Latin mythos, from Greek mythos, speech, thought, word, discourse, conversation, story, saga, tale, myth, anything delivered by word of mouth or word of unknown origin. Beats
So
under.
Word.
look,
Yeah,
let
so
me
y'all
say this.
heard that, right? Y'all heard that.
This is the
Word.
reason
Everything I'm giving
why.
you all got artifacts
This is
that's
the reason.
behind it.
Check
I
this
have
out, y'all. Check this
and
out.
room.
This is the reason why we're taught of a way to think myth in our schools. So we only consign it to one meaning and miss out what it's truly meaning. Everything they teach us in school is myth. Every time I speak, it's myth. But they have us thinking it's some fantasy dogmatic
Right.
belief
Fairy
system. So
tale.
if anybody says
Right.
myth, then automatically the other person believes they're discrediting because they've only got one, like you said, but access to knowledge and stuff. You have access to knowledge that you believe that I may not have access to, and you're teaching me something new, which is cool. Okay, I'm not against that, right? But at the same time, if I said myth and you're like, he's saying it's not real, that's not what I'm saying.
Right. I interpreted what you said, sweetheart, because I was not from believe. I really was not familiar with it. And I think I'm intelligent enough to know
Yeah, I
certain
gave
things,
y'all.
but
Before I even went into it,
you
I
taught me
gave y'all
something
the
today.
etymology of
I
it.
appreciate that.
That's why I said that. I said before he
Yeah,
went in,
I think that's why you
before
taught
he
me
went
that.
in and said it, he said literally. That's why we have
Yeah.
to pay attention to what each other is saying. If we can listen to what each other is
Yes.
saying, we would have never been arguing because he never disagreed. He simply said that myth is what we are speaking. By me saying this right here, and we know that this just occurred, it's still a myth. So we know that that's not a falsity because it just occurred, but it's a myth. But the way that I'm utilizing the word,
Right.
And
But
look,
it
so
needed
look,
to happen,
this
brother,
forms the
because
I
fun
want to
part.
add
if
too.
it did not happen, I would not have gotten that understanding. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Oh
What
yeah,
yes,
I'm
yeah, I
trying to
got
say is
you. Hey,
this.
but this is what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Look,
yes,
check it
yes,
out. See
yes.
what just happened though. See what just happened though. Check this out. I said it right. I'm not the fucking grand ball of the guru competition or the game of spiritual one-upmanship. I brought idea into the panel, right? And everybody's like, no, 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 no. And then one person said, hold on, let me look at it, and he found it. Another person said, oh. Now the thing is, what changed? What changed? If two people agree with it, does that make it real just because I said it and do we agree with it? See, that's why I always I always speculate everything I come across. I don't care if 100 people believe in this shit. 50 people can believe in this shit.
It's the
I
way
have
you
to keep
talk, bro.
searching.
You manipulate with your words, man. So and again, you on both
Like
sides.
you, he do it like me. He
I'm
do it
not,
like me.
man. Look, I'm straight on my word. I'm straight up. If I say turn left, that means go left. If I say go right, you go motherfucking right. It's no myth in that. It's no up and down in that.
It
Up and
is.
down
Let me
is
show
But
you.
Were you
you
telling
know,
us?
Hold on.
Were you
It is though.
communicating with us
It
though?
is though. Hold on. Let me help you because it is. If I say you went left, I can say that you left. He went. He left. You know, he went. He left. He didn't go left. He left. He left this place. And I say that he went right. He went and he wrote it down because right was writing. So like, even was it sound like when I say writing, he was riding the bike. So like,
Hey, I want to ask a question real quick. If so, you said I'm manipulating things, right? And if you have a preconceived idea of what something means, whether it's right or wrong, it doesn't matter. We're not saying we're
okay. And
removing all
let me
possibility of.
give
And
you
hold
an
on, let me finish.
example.
Let me hold on. Let me finish real quick. It will remove. I say this. This is remove all accusations and all fault finding, right? If I say something, right, and you already have an idea of what it means, what I'm saying, how am I manipulating you when you already have an idea of it?
It's the
No, it
audience
just
who you telling it to. Everybody don't know everything. So you saying it, it's like you want to be on both sides of the fence. So whichever side is the weakest, you can step away and be on the other side of the fence. What I'm telling
mm,
you is this. What this and the bottom line, I'm giving you factual data of things that they have found when they first got here. It was such an impression onto them that they started copying everything. It was the artistry, anything you can imagine. They copied all of that. What I'm trying to get you to see is this. You said that Moses couldn't cross the river. We haven't seen nobody to do it. You said it's impossible. But
to split
today,
the Red
can't
Sea. I
nobody
do
build.
believe.
Hold on, slow down, brother. But today, can't nobody rebuild the pyramids. And they say it's impossible for them to build it. But does that mean that it's impossible? Just because they can't do it, does it mean that it's impossible?
see, this is why I can. This is
Hey,
why.
look, let me answer that real quick.
This is why I do what Mental Ninja do. Because I straddle what you say, straddling the fence, right? Because when he say that you can't split the Red Sea, I said you can. When you open the book, you split it, and you read what you see, which is the Red Sea. You read it and you see it. You looking at it. So we open our eyes and we split the lids. We split our eyelids open so we can read what we seeing, which is the Red Sea. We read what we seeing. We have infrared eyes. Our eyes is infrared. They are in for reading. Our eyes was in there for reading, which was infrared. So
Hey,
like,
so look, this I want to say, right?
Facts.
So like the pyramids, they say That's a myth. If they're saying anything, they're using myth. Another word for communication is myth. Let's keep it simple, right?
Yes,
If they
yes.
say they cannot rebuild the pyramids, how do we know that's possible? And how do we know that's not possible? I can neither confirm nor deny that they cannot rebuild the pyramids. But the thing is, we have to backtrack on how they're saying the pyramids are built. That's the first thing. We have to backtrack that. So balance every thought with its opposition because the marriage of those two will destroy all illusions and delusions. Now, the thing about the Red Sea, can you imagine walking on the fucking Red Sea with a guy and he puts a stick in the ground and winds kick up and moves water from one side to the other side, exposing sharks or fish just flopping around and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, y'all, let's walk through it. That is a fantastical idea of myth. But the thing is, within that story is a deeper story, symbolic
See,
to
now you're
all
going to
the
the other
architecture
side. Here we
of
go.
the story.
Now you're going
Listen,
to the other side. Stick to your
bro,
side.
listen,
Because
listen.
I was about to
Look,
come
bro,
into
look.
with
I
something
hear
else.
what you're saying. Look, we live in a society where you have to be either Democrat or be Republican. You have to be pro-black or pro-white. What if you don't decide either? Rush, this group from Canada, they made a song
Independent,
called Free Will.
independent.
And this is what they say. You can choose a varied guide in some celestial voice. You can choose not to decide, and you still have made a choice. See, what you're wanting me to do is sit myself in a position that is familiar to you. But when I'm speaking,
Yes, you
it's
want him to
talking.
move forward or backwards, and he's staying neutral. He want to stay neutral.
I'm trying to show you something.
Yeah, I mean,
That
you
there
staying
is
neutral. You
no
walking the
side.
fence. I say this in my. This is what I show my people on my platform. That choice. That choice is the witch's selection. Like that free will, they gave you a selection, right or wrong, right? Where it's still a thin line or a fine line in between there. Now, it's easy to stand on one side or the other side of the gate. It take a real master to walk that fine line or to walk the tightrope, or you know what I mean? How the officers pull you over and make you walk. What they give you the sorority test and make you walk the fucking the yellow line with your nose pointed up in the air like you supposed to look at the fucking sky and know where your feet going. You know what I'm saying? It's like they try to, they trick you and make you look at the goddamn sky, knowing that the sky is moving, so you liable to move you with the sky is moving. So
Hey,
like they
look,
don't.
hey, look. Let me try this. Right? Going back to
Can
Moses.
I get
Right?
in one
Let's
time?
say,
Can I at least
hold
get
on,
one piece in?
Oh yeah,
See,
bro. Just
I've
come
been
in. Yeah, you
holding
can
it.
get it.
And see, he about to go again. Can I get a piece in? So when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to things impossible, like you said, he split the water, fish flopping in the water, right? But right now you can go in the ocean and you can go where the salt water meet the fresh water, and it's two different types of water, and they don't mix. And that's something they say that is impossible. But you see where the salt water meets the fresh water, and they do not mix, and you can cross the water with nothing. You will see no difference, but you can see
yeah.
where hot water don't go in. Now you're looking at something you would say that's impossible, but
Well,
now
see,
you see that it's
listen, bro.
possible.
Listen, what I'm saying is that we're talking about a story that has been
I ain't talking
told
about
and
no
told
story.
and
I'm
told.
talking
So
about
look,
reality. I'm
and
talking about
yeah,
fact.
let,
You
let's
talking
get
about
reality.
story.
So, do you believe that a man split a fucking sea in half with a stick? I
I
don't
can
care how
believe it
big the
when I
stick
see
was.
the water don't mix with each other.
Okay, so oil and water don't mix, so that means that the devil's
Oh,
real.
so
Is
you
that
saying
the
that
logical
you
reason?
saying one ocean is most oceans are water, sir. It's no oil. One is
I
salt
understand that.
water, one is fresh water. So it's
Okay,
no
well
oil
look.
in water.
So what you just did, and you kind of like did it like when I did the same thing. Using the logic, right? We're talking about the Red Sea, the
No, no,
Red
no. You
Sea,
said that's
which
impossible
is
to
the
happen,
most
though,
salt.
sir. You said it's
Was that?
impossible.
Do you believe it's possible for a man to stick a stick in the ground and make a sea split in half and
What is the
cross
stick made
two
out
lines?
of, sir? It
Was
could have been
that?
something that's made out of something. It could have had its own energy. It could have been something that generated power.
Hey,
We
you're
don't
right,
know
and
what
he could
that
have. Hey,
stuff
look,
is.
you know what, bro? And he could have
Oh,
had the
who
fucking.
got a
Hey,
who
look,
got a
he
stick
could have
like
had the
that? I
infinity
got one.
gauntlet. Hold
I
on,
got a
hold
stick
on,
just
real
like
quick.
that.
Hey,
You
look,
sure
he
do,
could have
sir.
also had, listen, bro, he could have also had the Infinity Gauntlet. He could have had Sonic the Hedgehog move really, really fast and do it, or Flash or Superman blow really hard. He could have fucking done all kind of things, but do you believe that a man can stick with the narrative of the story as it's told, can stick a stick in the ground and a river, a sea, go one way and go the other way and split? Do you believe that that will happen?
Can I answer?
Can
Yeah.
I say something about that real quick? And I'll be quick. Is it very possible when you think about like trees, how big and large some trees are, right? Is it possible that when they say he put the stick in the water and parted the sea, it didn't necessarily part it, but when he laid it down, it made a little wave in it, and they got on the tree and went across? Is that possible?
Oh, what is
I
this then?
mean,
Because
look,
everything is possible. Check this out. And even in the word impossible, it got I'm in it. I'm possible, right? And most people ain't gonna get it. That I am possible. Now check this out. The split, right? The stick. The stick. When you stick your tongue out, you know your tongue is a stick. You gotta stick your tongue out. And when you stick your tongue out, you spit. When you spit, you split, right? Because it's the L. Everything splits in two, right? So like when you know that your eyes, I mean like your eyes were split by the nose or the water, your water. Man, listen. All right, cool. All right, they might not see it that way. All right. So if I take a,
I
if I spit some water out my mouth, or if I cry and the tear running down my face and I break it off, or you know how you if I'm pissing, and you know how I'm a man, you know you can squeeze it and you can squirt it out, you can squirt. So he's separating the waters, like. So, like, man, listen, man, you can look at it a billion ways, but if you can find a way to make it truth, it's the truth.
hey, so look, so this is what I'm trying to say,
Or is it
right?
magic? Is that truth, magic, mysterious, mystical, or what? What do you know? I mean, like,
So look, check this out.
Hey, could it
There's
be
an
in reference
important
to something
reason.
sexual?
But so hold up, you right there.
Could
You right. Yeah, you splitting. You part in the
could
Red
it
Sea right
be
there. So look,
you?
600,000 people, 600,000 people, men, only counted men, right, with their wives and their children, right, walk 16 miles across the middle of the sea because one guy said, boom, and it parted. That is only possible in Marvel,
they
really,
was
right?
lying, bro. Mouths was
However,
smiled. Our
hey, so look,
mouths smiled. Our mouth smiled, which is we
hey,
was
but
walking.
look,
When our mouth opened, we smiled, and the waters cracked, just like the lips on her face inside them legs cracked, and the ocean walked open, and we came through the canal. It was like, man, the same shit, bro. Telling
hey,
you.
but
He gave birth
Sister Soul
to
said
some.
it. She said it.
Oh
That's the
God.
secret. That's the big secret about the whole myth. Why is it preserved? Why are we being taught? Maybe that story is a vehicle for an ultimate truth that has to be researched, and not research, but we're humans. We're built with all the fundamental technology that we need to understand the world around us. It might just be talking about the aspect of creation. The whole Bible, most likely,
Literally, everything
talks
is talking
about
about the aspect
sex.
of creation. I tell you,
It's
listen,
all
when we
sex.
walk in the store, when you walk in the car, I tell you, everybody, everything's dealing with the zero and the one. You can close the books because you got to open it up. Literally, that's a hole in one.
Look. Hey, Huey, like what's the most important part of the Bible? Man. What is the Bible about? Man. What is the
Man,
most important part about man? Birth,
man,
sex, creation.
man. The
A
word.
beautiful story,
Everything
no
is about
doubt.
the word. Because it's
A
all
beautiful
about
book,
birth,
bro.
listen, birth, sex, creation, man, human, a beautiful story, concepts, all of that was a word. Every last
So
thing that I said was a word, which is
Yeah,
the word
and look,
was born.
and
So
the
the word
etymology of
was
word
born.
is
The
logos
word was
and
born,
mythos.
and only the word can talk about is the birth, because the birth was the born. The born was the birth. The birth was with the birth of the bird when the bird was born. The birth of the baby born, or the baby birth born, right? Was when the word was born. So when the word was born, everything was born. It was like you can't even think about everything without having the word was born, right?
Hey, and check this out. And word means logos, and logos is a symbolic form of the mythos. When it creates the imagery in our head, that's the logos, right? But the whole
Yes,
Bible is basically
logo.
about a few things. It's about this. It's about a creation, an existence, and a death. It's all about man's cycle. What
Yep.
it's the science of who we are. And yeah, the thing is, it's fucked up how we've been learning about it. But that makes where's God in all this? Where is God in all this? a beautiful story to tell himself about himself without him even fucking knowing. And he has to go through the mistakes and the mistruths and the half truths and shit to find that ultimate gem. Like, holy shit, Eureka. There's gold in them damn in them damn hills.
You
And
put yourself to sleep so when you woke up, you can control it.
This the purpose. What's the fucking point of watching a movie where nothing happens? It has to be exciting. It has to be really make it, to be continued. The enemy and shit. The great Shakespeare said it, or Francis Bacon said it. The world is a stage. It's all stage. This is our experience. But this is the heaviest shit.
So did we put ourselves to sleep only to wake up so we can control our environment and have everything around us sort of looking asleep when we knew that it was awake and only a reflection of me? Or only a reflection of you. Like, check this out. Only for the last couple of days this shit been happening. Like, check this out. Today, I came to the crib and I was here there chilling, and a young lady came in. She said she had just came from the church. And then I just started speaking. And she was like, well, damn, am I the only one here listening to him? Because if I'm the only one here listening to him, why ain't nobody following him? Like, y'all should be a billionaire right now just listening to him. And she was like, Lord, you should be teaching. I said, really? She said, man, you are just saying it.
You should be teaching.
Yeah, that's what the young lady
told you.
That's what the young lady told me, literally, right? So we sitting here, right? And my family, my sister-in-law, my brother, and everybody was like, oh Lord, don't tell him that, girl. Please don't say that to him. She high-fiving me like, Lord, y'all must don't get it. She just like, yeah, she's giving me high five, hugging me. She like, well, tell me some more. Tell me some more. And I'm just like, I just started we just speak. I'm just me and her just talking. And like, she like, well, look, man, it seems like only me and you is really hearing you talk right now. It's like, what the fuck? She's like, where you come from with all of this? Like, how the fuck? She was just like, wow, right? So then she leaves, right? This is crazy, right? She leaves. She was gone maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes. Me and my sister, we leave. We go to the store. We was trying to go get something to eat. And then when we was going, I was like, man, I don't want to stop there. Something telling me, let's go over here. We go, let's go over to the mall. We went to the mall and walk in the store. Who the first person that we see? Shorty. She's like, are you following me? Are you trailing my energy? She's like, it's something about you. I don't know. So I walk in there and I just start talking. The some random lady just said, hey boy, you need to tone down a little bit, be quiet a little bit because you too loud with too much truth out here. And my sister was like, well, why are you just talking to him like that? We don't even know you like that. I said, nah, she's saying it. I was like, it's so cool. It's okay. She laughed at me. She like, it's something about you. So as we sitting down, y'all, we sitting there, and me and the girl, we sitting there talking, and my sister-in-law, and the other little shorty, we sitting there talking, we sitting there chopping it up, and I'm just telling her, she's just like, damn, and you ain't stopped yet. It's just like everything you say, every word I say, you know it, you got something to say about it, and it's just too much truth. She's just like, I'm so scared of you, right? And as she say that, a girl walked past, and she said, who are you? What kind of energy? What planet are you from? My sister said, no, Lord, here you go again. Not you too, right? Why the girl came over there and was just like, your name is Pre, this, that, and the third. Well, I'm talking about I'm like, well, how did you know my name? She said, you think you're the only one that's all awakened and all know everything? You ain't the only one. She said, what's your sign? I need to know what tribe you from. Who you from? What's your power? What's your energy? What you controlling? And then she said, you just got too much energy. I read. She said, I'm a Pisces. I said, I'm a Pisces too. She said, I knew it. And then she looked at me. She said, you do dimensions, you got portals, you work with electric. She was like, I said, well, goddamn, what the fuck? Is it written all on my goddamn face? What the fuck is going on? I was just like, man, like literally, y'all, I swear I can't make this shit up. And I was telling the girl, I was like, I be telling my people online this shit be happening. I don't be able to capture the moment because it don't be It ain't like I'm walking around recording nowhere. I know something. But I always should know it. You feel me? But I don't be having to. It just be happening. I don't be able to record it or catch it, and it just be like, Lord, if y'all could just see it.
Hey, Huey, like that's the way. So what we call that, right? Using a myth, a label, and a term, right? Is Kabbalistically thinking. Like the Kabbalist has like not learned but developed or whatever, however, whatever word we're gonna call, is become in some sense in tune with everything. And of course, you can't just find it right there and stuff. But when things are being brought into the inner interpretation, it just connects. Boom! It just connects. Boom! It just connects. Right? And it's basically like a reoccurring event where you don't have connection, but then you're connected. And somebody says something, and then you don't have connection, but then you're connected and shit. You know what I'm saying? So everywhere you go, you start seeing things from a Kabbalistic perspective, and that's a term, you know, it's a Jewish term, whatever. But basically, all seeing, all understanding, and all interpreting and stuff. But it comes in like you can't interpret it until you interpret it. So it's like
Why
there's
you
like
going
a bunch
through
of
it?
shut
Like,
doors.
yeah, while you
You know
running
what I'm
through
saying?
it, you unfolding it and you seeing it. You like, yeah. I see that. I see it. And you sitting there adding up this shit. You like, hold on, man. I know that didn't just happen when I was just seeing that. You like, damn, I could have just took that. I'm tripping. I'm
Hey,
I be in situations like that, bro. Like literally, bro. Like, why didn't I just take that? Why didn't I just get that then when they just offered me that? It was like, why the fuck didn't I just take that? Why didn't I just take it? It was like, damn, that shit didn't mean nothing. It was like, fuck, man. It's like, man, I swear to
hey,
God, I be getting the most craziest shit happen to me, y'all. It be weird. It be
hey, bro,
weird.
I want to present this for y'all consideration, right? So, like, man has been around for a fucking whoever knows how long, right? And we have evidence through historical whatever, or legend telling, or passed down through verbal or whatever. It was always a preservation of some form of somehow of knowledge, right? And today we have like the idea of the word sex and penises and vaginas and birth and all these intricate words, right? But what if the words we have are the same words that they use, and the way we explain it, we just use different groupings of it, and maybe there it will never ever, maybe like 5,000 years from now, they'll be doing the same thing, but it'll be in a whole new lexicon, which means like literally words. You know what I'm saying? A whole
Yeah.
new system, right? But
And
the
it
thing
would
is,
be
like,
done with the same system, but they gonna be breaking it down in a whole nother way. They'll be
and
saying
look,
A, B, C,
look,
D,
look.
E, F, the same way we seeing it, but in another way. They be like, ooh,
So
ooh.
how can we find something like this that's happening right now? It's like for me, it's like, okay, I hear that. That's a cool thought. That's a cool thought, Messengers. That's a cool thought, Zach. But where can you find something like that that fits with your own being? Well, it's like, well, damn. Every time I breathe in, I breathe out, and I breathe in again. And it's a different breath, but is it the same breath? Who fucking
Yes,
really knows? But it's continuing the story. It's continuing the experience. And Kabbalistically speaking, or all seeing, or connected, or awake, or woke, or truth, whatever words we want to come up to describe something that we feel, something that we're experiencing, to justify the experience, as if the experience itself is not enough, like going sightseeing. Like, I'm going to sightsee, I'm just seeing twice, right? But every time we come up with a new thought, a new paradigm shift, like, oh my God, that is amazing. We have a whole new psychological and psychic change on how we see the world, how we react with it. And it's like a real eureka moment, right?
yep,
Every time that happens, we experience a feeling that is similar, if not the same thing as when God said, let there be light. And then you got this whole fucking story going behind it, because you have this whole new train of thought. You have this whole new experiential momentum going and shit, until the next paradigm happens and stuff. And really, we're still on the same planet, still in the same state, still in the same skin, but everything has changed. But really, nothing has changed. Only the illusionary idea that something has changed. And now we want
that's
to try to
true.
comprehend an infinite God. That's it. It's in our own fucking existence. The infinitude
Yeah,
of a God.
yep. That shit right in our own DNA or bloodstream life. You know what I'm saying? Our life, which is I had a million lives We had 9 lives like a cat. Like, you know,
Hey, look,
yeah.
and even DNA, right? Let's imagine that you can like look from a bird's eye view, and you can see every step that you've ever taken in your life, every place you ever go. Like you ever seen what's that movie called? Fucking Donnie Darko. When the nigga had that little tube that was connected to him, and everything, and she seen everybody's tubes and shit walking around there, following this preordained like fucking little tube pass, right? Just imagine if you could see all your traveling and everywhere you've ever went, it would be more complex, if not equal to as complex as the DNA strand sequence. Your
Yes.
story, your existence, your path and shit. Fucking God is so fucking magnificent. He's playing all the parts all the
Literally.
time. Everywhere he can go and everywhere he'll go is all him. And
He
it's like with that
always
thought,
been. Ain't nowhere
yeah,
he ain't never been that he can't never go.
the first to get there, the last to leave, nigga. You were headed to
Yeah.
yourself. Walk with
Yeah.
yourself, go walking away from yourself. How was God the unmoved mover? That's what mom asked me when I was a kid. How was he the
Yeah.
unmoved mover? And I'm like, well, is
See,
it only if he's everywhere and nowhere at the same
you
time?
going there now. You going there, bro. Like, yeah, right? Right?
And
Right?
look, and this is the thing. If God is the first and the last, right, and you're the first person that'll ever be Huey and the last person that'll ever be Huey, like, holy
Oh,
shit, who the fuck?
period.
The Alpha and the Omega, right? But check this out. That applies for me. That applies for Sister Soul, everybody in the chat, everybody on the panel and shit, everybody we don't like, and everybody we do like. And it's like, damn, God is that amazing. He is
Right?
when they say, my God is an awesome God, when they're looking at it from outside looking in, yes, of course, but also equally from an inside looking out,
Awesome. He is
from an
awesome,
outside
which is
and
someone.
inside
He is
looking at
all,
each other.
which is we are all someone. We are awesome. We are
Yeah,
awesome.
bro. Just imagine
Someone.
though, God
Yeah.
is playing all the parts, bro.
Period.
Every fiber of the carpet that you're looking at on your floor is all little bitty gods, but it's all God, all 100%,
Literally.
1%.
Literally. There you get, yes. It is it. That's what it is. All.
Hey, look,
Right?
and that's when you get that what they call attaining nirvana, right? The Buddhist idea of desirelessness and shit. When you realize that it's all you and it's all not you, but that's you too, and your head
Yeah.
fucking blows up, and you're like, well, where can I find more not me's? Because I'm just learning who I am. Every time I go to the forest, every time I rode my bike all the way to fucking LA to sit down so we can start this MC chapter up here, right? The whole way I was traveling around myself, riding on top of myself, going to meet more of myself. I never fucking
Right.
left. I never fucking left, nigga. I've been inside the same head the whole time.
Literally. 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 I'm talking about, bro. See, this is the shit I'm
The
talking about.
brain in the
This,
head.
this is what I'm talking about. This shit has been happening. It's like so much more of me is recognizing that it's like me. And like, I feel so comfortable being me. It's like, like, it's like I can be me. I want to just run around and just yell, I am
Hey,
like,
bro.
like if you go anywhere, right? If you go anywhere, like, and they know that you are me, right? Ain't no way that you should be paying. Me should be paying for nothing because I am me. I am me, and everything is here is a reflection of me. Was here for me, can't be here unless I was here. I hear it. I'm here. I'm wearing where I'm at. I'm in the skin. I am covered in by that. It's like I know I don't know it, and I do know that I ain't none of that, but I am all of that, and I am all of it, and I am more of that, and I'm some more of that. It's like I am
Hey, look. Hey, look. And
me.
then you like, and so I
Greater is
guess you end up
he,
becoming.
greater
Oh,
is
go ahead,
he
sister.
in me than he that is in the
Yeah,
world. Isn't that
yeah,
what is that? Ain't that what it say? Am I saying
yeah.
it exactly right or what?
That's
Yeah,
something
you
like
read. Hey, and look, that's the funny thing because, like, when we're talking about the Bible, you have like three of the most conflicting. You think Judaism and Christianity and Islam conflict? Fucking Peter, John, and Paul. That's the most conflicting shit in history, right? Because they all believe different shit. But we have it in one book, so we think they all believe the same thing. You got Peter, he actually knew the physical, literal Jesus and stuff, right? So he's like, and this is the funny part. Peter was like the dumbest out of all of them. Out of all the disciples, he was the dumbest, right? He's like a fucking simple fisherman, right? And fucking Jesus like, you know what? Your fucking faith is not, it can't even be questioned, which ain't a good thing. He said, I'm gonna call you the rock, because you're fucking dense, nigga. You don't fucking you don't think outside yourself. You think what I say and you believe it. Cool. I'm gonna build my church on you. And then you have Saul, who didn't believe, and he was struck down off his horse after persecuting the Jews and these people for so long. And he saw Jesus and became to believe. And Paul's like, Peter, the nigga never existed. He's a spiritual awareness. He's a conscious, a state of the soul, a state of the mind and shit. So they're beefing right there, right? And then you got John the Baptist, or not John the Baptist, but John the Revelator from Patmos, right? That he was also supposedly also the youngest of all the disciples. He was like a 12-year-old, while everybody else was like in their 50s and 60s and up, right? John, that wrote the Revelations and stuff, he's like, Jesus is the Lord of all, and he's coming back. And that's where you get the whole Christianity, modern day Christianity, from these three guys and shit, right? But at the same time, I can see that playing out in my own psyche. I believe everything. I'll never question anything the authority tells me and stuff. I'm solid as a rock on my foundation of belief. I will not move. I will not alter, right? Then I have a awareness like, right, this fucking event hits me and my eyes are open. I'm like, holy shit, it's all spiritual. It's all soul conscious, soul contract. Oh my God. It's an evolution of science of the spiritual body, right? And then I come in like, you know what? It's everywhere and it's coming back. It's always going to find me. And that's the beautiful thing about this God idea, right? Is that God is so God, he cannot not be God. He has to have it divided up within him amongst his own self. Because otherwise, if God can't divide, God ceases to be God everywhere and nowhere at once, right? So the unknown that we'll experience, if we're God, right? Sister, you're God. Huey, you're God. Eric, you're God. Everybody in the chat, they're God. When we come across that unknown, that is you too, because the unknown outcome that you are fucking going to create out of, and we're back to Genesis. The Bible, bro, no bullshit. When we remove the doctrines and the religious and the system, it is a beautiful book of science of our existence, of God's own story to himself, because he's everywhere. He's encoded in the rock, the tree, the bee, the bird, the toad. You know what I'm saying? And every time when we're exploring, what we do is we're rediscovering who we are and who he is. So yes, greater is he who is in us than he who is in the world. But once we feed ourselves on the word of the world and know and learn and seek and be like Noah, the knower, who gets drunk, a drunk motherfucker, off his own knowledge or off the knowledge and brings all of creation with him and replenishes the land and shit, then we get to actually really tap in, this is the bad part, to that godhood. But once you do, it all comes crashing down and it has to reset itself because it's God we're talking about. He has to keep resetting himself in order to be infinite.
This is why you reset everything over here. And we set. Reset is we set. Because this we is on your mark, get set, we go. It's like, oh shit, we set. Nigga, we own the set. This is why niggas is claiming sets. Listen, they gotta be on the set. Bro, we on the set, bro.
Even the sunset, Raw set, they were beefing. Raw raised.
They sat down. They sat down.
Bro, look, the sun has its own story. The trees, you look at their rings, they're telling a story. There's a system of water and system of wind telling a story. Why don't we got a story too?
We are. It's telling it. It's a mystery. My story. No, my story. It's a mystery.
And so look, we're talking about
and the mystery was miss, right? She is like missing, right? Mister. She stirred it. She's stirring. You got to put it in the pot of stirring. It's stirring. The ring.
And
you got to put a stir on the ring.
Hey, there's Miss, right? But then she's married to somebody. His name is Mr. E.
Mr. E.
Mr. E.
Yeah,
You know
Mr.
Mr.
E.
I know Mr. E. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Then a myth. What is a myth? Like a vague, a foggy, dense kind of like idea, right?
a
And that's
miss.
what, bro. The thing is, the sickest part about it, one of the sickest part about it, right, is that while we're doing all this, you know what the biggest myth is? Everything.
Yeah,
We're the living myth. We're
literally.
we're a myth in creation,
M
writing its own
Y
self.
T H.
Bro, like literally,
M.
your existence is a testimony, and a testimony, once spoken of, becomes myth. So while the myth is being written, it's also being lived out simultaneously.
A T A T A T A T C A C A T H H H. Okay. Oh man, spells. Right, like, like, like. See, like they wonder why a man stutter. Right? Why did he stutter? Was he a studying man? Or did he stutter? He was like, man, listen, man, I can say that. They didn't even know I was saying words. I said da 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 da. Yeah, like da 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 da. You know, that's how we gotta start back talking, y'all. Like that, you know, when I came back to, that's how we got back to talking, you know. That didn't sound better than da 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 da. It's like,
Hey, bro, I want to read this to you, right? Check this out. Inevitably, anyone, here we check this out. Inevitably, anyone with an independent mind must become one who resists or opposes authority or established conventions. A rebel. If enough people come to agree with him and follow the rebels, we now have a devil. Until, of course, still more people agree, and finally we have great. That's something that I think all people should maybe consider if they think for themselves. If they have ideas that are against the established conform processes. And what's name? What's that nigga's name? Mark Twain says, "Once you find yourself on the side of the majority, it's time to stop and rethink."
sister, so you see, sister, beautiful spirit.
Let's see. Sister Soul, can you text me your number? Oh, okay. Yeah, tell them I'll put it in the chat because I don't remember her number. I know she gave it to me the last time in the comments or something, but
In the back chat. Put your
right,
email
because
in.
remember she
Tell her
was
to
on
email.
here.
Put your email in. You don't want your number out there.
Okay, yeah, I put my email in the chat.
She gonna put her email in, and then you can email her and you can get her number through that way. Or you could come on the platform and you ain't even got to get on the thing. If you come on, if you just hit the thing, and she could put it in the back chat, and that way y'all can just save it in the private chat.
Uh-oh. Sorry, brother.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it boils down to you, y'all. It boils down to you. And, to the brother James Rosell, you a great brother, man. And the brother Mental Ninja, he wasn't discrediting your information by saying myth. He was just bringing the actual etymology of the word myth to the table. He was bringing the actual, what they would call, what you would call a definition. It's deafening, ain't it? That definition is deafening to your credibility upon speaking. It's
Right.
deafening.
Definition is deaf in the nation.
Yes. That's why so much death in our nation. because it's the definitions. And then they gonna say they learned it from the Phoenicians, which is definition. The Phoenicians, you know, they didn't tell you the Phoenicians found it, and then they spelled the Phoenicians with a PH. You know, it's like a PhD degree, a player hater degree. You know.
Oh, so he was earlier, right? And we was talking about like how at the Moses thing. Just I want to finish real quick about the Moses thing and him parting the Red Sea. And I was like, maybe it was pertaining to the sex and him going across the waters and having sex with the different races and
Right.
therefore mixing and so on and so forth. That might have been what they were talking about as well. Could have been that, mixing the Israelites, which was the brewing. You were saying about the brewing in the sense of him brewing the seed of the Israelites with the other ones, other nations, and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm. You gotta.
I think
I don't know why that echo come through every time.
Uh-oh.
I think all in all, it was a great bill. The brother was giving us some definitely
Oh
great
yeah.
information
Oh
that
yeah.
we was on America like 4 5 years ago when people they ain't want to hear us. I was screaming America, screaming America. The brother Carolu, he got a lot of information over on his channel. Carolu, I think it's Kerlu, something like that. Where he
No,
talk about the Jaguars and all type of stuff.
I ain't heard him.
Uh, yeah, let me go pull up his channel
Yeah,
so
drop
I
a
can
link in there, pull him up or something. Or drop the link. You got I know you got
cause
Rich.
cause Carolu be talking about the Americas a lot, and then um Drop Radio 432. He big on Prester John and tying all that together, and Nola was dropping that info too. Knowledge of what Utmost, I think his name was.
Uh-huh.
He was dropping them jewels.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was a good one. That was bro was dropping gems, both of them. Everybody been dropping gems. Y'all know this was a powerful build. This was definitely a powerful build. Yeah. And matter of fact, I'm probably gonna shut it down so it don't be so long, so everybody can get the information, so it don't be so lost up in the information. You know what I mean? Start keeping the information a little shorter so they can hold some of this information. Them 7 hour
Mhm.
builds, we be doing so much. We be talking about so much in it. Folks be missing it. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody gonna watch no 7 hours, but some folks do watch that shit. They ain't got nothing else to do. You know what I
Bro,
mean?
why you don't never try to edit it or and maybe cut some of the
You know,
stuff out?
I thought about that. Everybody else be like, well, because me, I don't. You know how many? I told you how many of these things that I watch.
Right. The
You know,
time it take to do all that.
yeah, because I be doing so much. I might get off here and go record. You know what I mean? I might just, get off here and just, doing so much. It just be like, I don't know, man. I be doing so much and not doing this. Like, I be around trying to do other shit in the world. And I be forgetting about shit, losing people and shit. Like, you know what I mean? You know how you could be everywhere and that nowhere at the same time, but you everywhere.
Mm.
Man, I be running like a billion miles an hour. Like in the astro realm, right? So, like, because I know you all the way there, so you already know how to move in your brain. You already do that, so y'all going in crazy. So like, but I've been way out of that, so I've been out of my body so much that I don't even worry about working none of that. You know what I mean? Like I'll be way away. I'll be like way away, like man. All right, man. I can make my eyeball stretch light years away. I can make my eyes stretch. You know how the telescope come out in layers like that. You know how they show us on cartoon the layer, the telescope it pop out like that. It keep popping out like that and shit. Like you know what I mean? Like
Going further and further.
Yeah, I was just pressing on time, man. You're like, man, don't make me press the button, man. I'm just looking right at it. If I look at it, I can see the button from here. I can touch the button like from here. It's a fucking bomb that'll go off from goddamn. It's like ain't even a bomb. It's just a beacon. It's a burp. It's a burp. The earth was burp. You can burp it up or you can burp it. Oh Lord. Man, the quarter dispersed, man. If I just put the whole, I could just, right? Oh man, stop doing it, bro. Okay, all right, I'll stop. I'll stop. The creator be telling me, bro, you be doing too much, man. You be doing too much, bro. You be doing too much, bro. And then you know it and you sane with it. Something wrong with you. I know it. I know it.
I'm just putting out what you want to say.
Right? It's like, oh boy.
Hey, I put the link to the Prester John playlist that Drop Radio got on his channel, and then I put it's I can't even say it. Curry Mayo who are you Aya
You say he's King
Kurimgo.
John? Who is it? What's
Yeah, that's Prester John. That's the priest Khan. That's that's supposed to be who they talking about? Moses, King David. I mean, not
okay?
Moses,
Now
King
I'm trying
David.
to find the channel. That's the 432 Drop Radio channel.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's just a playlist that he got that I put in the YouTube chat.
Yeah.
It's all about Prester John.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, they got a website that they got a whole bunch of books that's like the brother that was on here was bringing up like books before the you know the 1800s and stuff that you know I was big on this like 3-4 years ago like digging into trying to figure out where I'm at and you know why they say we come from somewhere else but it feels like I'm from right here, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
far back I could look my great grandmother's
Hey
Seminole.
man, hold on, man. See, I ain't even think about this now. I ain't think about this until now. But I had equated this with the right ear, with an entering, where we entering and leaving something. So entering, we enter on the right and exit left, which is like your ears. It comes in your ear and go out the left ear. So it's like when you say you came from right here, it's like you came from your right ear. And then you before we leave, it's like we came in that right ear and we was right in there. We was inside the head. We ain't never leave it. We was like, fuck it. You know how shit go in one ear and not the other? We knew it. We was like, don't
Mm-hmm.
go out the other hole. We said when you go in, don't never come out the hole. Just stay in. That was the big trick. Stay in. But to stay in or stay yin. Because STA is stay. STA, stay, or is it the ATL, staying, right? So, Lord, it should just be coming to me, yo. Right here, your right ear is like before you leave, you're gonna go when it's time for you to leave, you're gonna come back out your left ear and you're gonna go right back into your right ear. Lord. So are you wrapped around your head like a helmet inside your ears going around your eyes, and like, are you like not even in yourself, and you just like got yourself swinging around? You know, you can make yourself a towel, hang your skin over a railway up over there. You can pull it down to make it tight, and you can put it through your ears and your head, and you can like clean out your ears. Oh, that is crazy, y'all. Y'all felt that? Y'all felt that?
You going in.
That was crazy, right?
Because I was right here, but they trying to get us to leave here and be somewhere else and all type of shit. I'm like, why I got to leave here? Why I got to say I'm from somewhere else?
What? We right here. Which is right. Right. Correct. We right in the car. We wrecked the car. We in the correct. We're correct. The correct. Right. The correct. The things they make us say. The things that make us say. It's like not even they that make us say. Things that make us say. Not they make us say, but things that make you go, you know, It's a good Master P. Master P was the king of dropping shit, right? That nigga dropped a lot of shit when he was out, right? Why you think that he said, he was grunting and knew he was shitting. That man knew he was shitting on the world. He said, y'all gonna feel this shit. It's like, what? Made $1 billion? Shit on the world? Like, literally, shit it. Didn't nobody say nothing about this man showing everybody his ass while he just shitting on everybody. It's okay. Telling everybody to kiss his ass. And everybody did. Went right out and bought it. He said, thank y'all, sorry ass motherfuckers. That's what he said. He said, all right. Let's go back to Hangman. I'm finna hang a man, right? I'm hanging myself, right? You know, you could put a towel, or you know how they swing, put the swing set, and then like make so you are the swing set and you are swinging. You from your eyes, in your ears, and you nose it. You can feel it. You like this nigga got us swinging by our fucking head. This nigga got a towel in my head. Huey, bro, can you take the towel out my head, bro? It's like the towel, which is a towel, is in my head. Sorry, fuck it. It's the Tower of Babel. That was a build up. That's what you call the build up. That was the build up flow. They're gonna be calling me.
You know what I was thinking about? How Buddy was saying that they built Moses the city in Colorado, and you know Colorado is the mile high city. You would think that would be them trying to build him a city to get him closer to the what I'm saying, like the Tower of Babel kind of as far as trying to get him close as he can to the roof. I guess I don't know.
Yes, we're to the roots, to the rooftop. We could jump off like Nutso. While Nutso went on top and jumped off. Because he said, man, I'm falling down. I ain't falling for this shit. So Nutso went up to the top and jumped off. It's crazy shit. That shit crazy. Yeah, man. It's a It's a war going on outside that we fight for our spirit and our mind. It's a war. But you gotta realize that you the only one warring with yourself, and we fighting ourselves. Stop fighting yourself, y'all. Go inside. You gotta stick inside yourself. Stick it in. Plug it in. Plug it in. Y'all gotta keep it plugged in. Plug it in. Plug it in. The lugs. You gotta keep your lugs tighten on your tires, so when you rolling down the street, your car don't go flat. How you gonna roll with a flat tire? Lord, you niggas run around with a flat earth, with a flat tire, no air in a tire. What's wrong with them? Fuck it, man. I'm just going in. Fuck it. Fuck it. Niggas want to be on the flat earth so bad. Roll it out. Let me see how your wheel roll on a flat, airless inner tube. You don't even have no air in your tube. On the inner tube, it's lifeless. This is dull. Like you ain't got no hills and no valleys in your line. It's like your line is flat, and you're dead. Man, the fuck? We knew that. We knew that. How the fuck? 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 This is what the medium is about. See, look. The globe, the world is round on one side of the fence and it's flat on the other. Guess what it is on the medium part? Meat indium. Is me and them. Is me or is the med I am. Damn, man. The mud. Like the mud. You get it from the mud. I get it from the mud. I get it from the mud. I get it. Get it? Do you get it? Mud. I'm in it. The medium, me, which is I am meat, which is medium. You got the meat, idiom. Man, all these niggas don't want to walk that thin line. They gonna be there on one side of the fence or the other side. It's like, what side you from? This side. What side you got? This side. What side you got? That side. He's like, man, what? Y'all, why are y'all crying when both of y'all both got sides? You think the dickhead mad because they got two sides that they gotta go in. It just want to go in between. Because guess what? The meat inside know that it gotta play the medium. It don't want to be the bread. The bread complaining about who gonna be at the bottom or the top when both of y'all getting eaten up from the bottom and the top. It's like, oh. Listen, what if you eat your sandwich, right? How you make a sandwich, right? If you make a cheeseburger and your cheese is at the top and you flip it upside down and you bite it, the cheese at the bottom, is you gonna be mad? What? Right? What? Why don't we do that, y'all? From now on, if y'all eating, flip the burger upside down. Eat the pizza. Eat the pizza with the crust upside. Turn your pizza upside down and let all of the chicken and the pepperonis The cheese sag like Hillary Clinton's face. Young boys in Atlanta pants sag like George Bush Senior and hey, 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 hey. The young boys got they skinny jeans, right? They skin in jeans. They jeans they jeans is in their skins. They skin in jeans. Listen, they might as well not wear their jeans. They might as well just wear their skin. With their skinny jeans, they skinning. They skinning jeans. Fuck it. They skinning. Their skinny jeans is so tight and it looked like Oprah Winfrey eye and Lady Sings the Blues. And when she Bruce Street or and Color Purple. They colored their eye. They colored their eye purple. They said if you want to be smart and act like you're gonna be an empathist or deal with and deal with empathy or empathy, you're smart. We're gonna paint your eye purple. We're gonna color your eye purple. We're gonna beat you blue black purple. And they blew her wig back. She said, listen, all you gotta do is just listen. I'll kneel down to you. I just blow your head back. Just blow my head back. She rolled her head. She said, what? All right. I hear that.
It's not me.
I know.
But yeah, Huey, man. Shout out to that music you been dropping, man. That shit been fire.
Appreciate that, bro.
You making me push my envelope again. I was like, oh, I gotta delete some shit. Let me go back to the drawing table.
I'm finna get on a couple of them. I'm finna do something. We finna do something tonight. I'm finna crank up. We gonna do something tonight. I'm finna get on that one jam you sent me. I'm finna lace that up now. I'm finna go in, bro. I'm in a mode. I'm in a creative zone, bro. I just be in the zone, bro. For real, bro.
Yeah, I heard I listened to like a couple of the ones you had posted this morning. I was like, okay, I got to go back to the drawing board, and I had to go back and revamp. I basically went and took them down and then redid them, and then I got Allergic working on a couple of them. So he remastering it or whatever he do. You know what I'm saying? You know how y'all do. I'm just trying to put a hook on the beat. You feel me? And build a concept.
Yes, Lord, bro. I love that. I love both of them concepts. That crypto and that one you just did. I love the concept, bro. But I got an idea of what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna ride that same cadence too. That's how you make the song, though. You got to build on top of it. You feel me? Just keep building on that bitch. I mean, like it might not get done right then. It might take 2 days to do it. 2-3 days. It might take 3 days sometimes. You feel me? I just don't rush it. If I get blocked, I say, man, let me get off of it for a minute. I might go to something else. Sometimes I get on
something else.
Yeah, because I might go jump on something
Shit.
else, and my energy might just switch all the way
I
up.
went to y'all put us on band labs yesterday. I went got on that. I was like, oh shit, this like open up a whole new window. You know what I'm
That's a
saying? Like
whole nother
shit.
wave over there, bro. I'm telling
Like
you,
shit,
that shit
that
is
shit
a
dope.
whole nother. That's a whole nother monster, bro. That's another drug.
I fell out. I'm here.
That's a drug right there. Cause you could just get on your phone and just
Huey.
go crazy.
Oh, I done fell out.
Uh, you still there, bro? Yeah, I'm about to get up out of here, though. I'm gonna play a jam though before I get out of here.
What's about to play, bro?
Let me see. I'm gonna play this for the young boy who didn't like. They say my little brother. This how you know everybody got their own mind state. Like, man, you should have did the song by yourself. Nah, shit. I had to spread love. Had to let my youngest know that they on God level, and you gotta listen to their words because, bro, if you don't think that they on my level, listen again. Listen how he break down rap tours or he talking about this rap tour. We talking like this is an award show right here. This is an award flow. It's called awards.
If you've got any health in your body, I put it there. If you have life instead of death, it was I that gave it to you. If you have salvation, I brought it. So if I created the words, I can damn well use them.
Oh, Mythical virgin, I'm on the verge of making love to a surgeon, but the doc was a virgin. Pumping gene, my children, master splendor, cold master when they try to find some nigga in it. At the point of God that she does, she define it, finding the kind of mind I like to see a women, the divine feminine line in mine. 45 and line of killer, only proof the exorcism at the Christian and the demon. Dracula, the sucking at the blood on his vein, the vein stuck his fangs in him and dropped the veins up out of the man. Fresh new ride, Junior, rush that nigga then play. Came to see him was an able man. That wasn't in the plan. Shit like he holy, but wasn't man the streets, but wasn't industry. You are what you eat as far as me. Where we at? I'm from Let's Feast. Cajun teriyaki, honey melon dew, sorry God, shallow man, and they said that Solomon shall endure. Hear me? Yes, Lord, so let them know that I came to bring the rap sure. I wear my heart on my sleeve, that's why the flow's pure. I'm captivated, your mind, I came to capture. No caption on my rap, get out the trap door. Blowing green, they turn talking to past stores. Turn around at the rap tours, all the hoes at the back. Swing and smack up the crack horse. Hear me? Hear me? Let them know that I came to bring the rap sure. I wear my heart on my sleeve, that's why the flow's pure. I'm captivated, your mind, I came to capture. No caption on my rap, get out the trap door. Blood green, they turn talking to past stores. Turn around at the rap tours, all the hoes at the back door. Get smacked like the rap wars. Hear me? Yeah. If I was on BET, I fuck my lotto backstage at the rap wars. They don't know that we came from tap war. Tour hors d'oeuvres, more please, they give me what I don't ask for. Bitch, we coming live from the rap shore. You rap short, stand on the beach around and see how I rap short. This rap tour ligaments, never thought I'd be on no rap tour. I see you living good from the outside. It's gun, but I put a hole through your glass door. If your pants was on your knees, I'd still be showing my ass more. Sauce and Steph Curry only know what I splash for. Oh yeah, almighty, the Midas touch. Mimic us, but make sure you mark the mistakes made when you miking up what I'm using my hands for. Pins mightier, but that don't mean when I show up, I ain't bringing my damn sword. Gimme God, 99% overall. I'm a gimme God, new slang, new train, new tank, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, y'all. We ready for anything, but that's what happens when you master moving off the motors, but they give you, dog.
And open up your eyes, cause it's your right to see how it feels to be stung by a killer bee. Ever since I fucking heard the rule back in 93, cash rules everything around me. Crazy.
Yes, Lord, man. I'm getting up out of here, y'all. It's me, man. Hear me. Shout out to Crypto, Sister Soul, everybody who came through. James Roselle, man, for
Peace,
sharing
peace, peace.
that beautiful
Peace.
energy, man. Appreciate that, great brother, man. Don't think your energy wasn't accepted, bro, and the information wasn't received, bro.
Definitely.
Know that your information definitely was received, bro. Shout out to everybody who graced the platform, everybody who came in and shared y'all energy and gave us y'all attention. Appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? Open up y'all eyes, y'all. It all start with y'all. Y'all the only ones projecting y'all energy, y'all. Let's control it, y'all. We can stop accepting all of this shit, y'all. Let's stop going to work. Let's do it, y'all. Let's stop going to these systems. Let's stop chasing these dead. Let's stop running into these dead ends. Stop running for dead ends.
Dead ass.
Yes, Lord.
Peace, peace, peace. Power to the people. Appreciate you,
Power,
brother.
power.
I keep shit like karate. I speak all tongues. Sin. Fire up in the sky. The sky is I am. The spirit that I am. It's me. Yes, Lord. Oh, yes, I am. Yeah, I am. I am. That's all I can do. Take control. Do what I am. All I can do. I am. You are me. You are us. You can see I look at you. I am me. That's all I can do. I'm looking for a way to do it. I am all I can do. I am me. You are me. You are us. You can see I look at you. I am me. Untold stories for dirty lies, but the truth is they cover their dirt and dirty lies. Lord, angels from the skies with open eyes. Not a child, yes, I'm Rastafari. I slide, Lord. I am the great I am. 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 Lord, I am the great I am. 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 Lord, Lord, see, that's all that I can do. I am the world will be true. I am all that I can do. I am. You are. You are us. Jesus, see, I'm looking better like the African. Let the world see that I am. I am. That is all that I can do. I think the world will be true. I am all that I can do. I am. You are me. You are us. Jesus, see, I'm looking better like the African. Let the world see that I am. Yes, Lord.